Well, here we are, episode 154. 154. And on this episode, we're going to pick up where we left off last week. Me and the Wrecking Two, Mark Smith and Lou Colicchio from the Music Relish Show. Find them on YouTube. It's a dynamic show. But we're going to pick up where we left off last week. We're going to be talking about albums, more albums from 1976, then movies from 1976. I have You Make the Call. We got 45 Polka. We got This Day in Music. I actually have a new segment. But I'm not going to tell you about it. You're going to have to wait for it. So sit back, relax, and wait. And keep waiting. But it's pretty cool, so maybe you'll like it. Enjoy the show.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. Welcome to the podcast. We're streaming live right now over YouTube, Switch. You know all its channels. I do it every week. If you've been watching for at least 153 episodes, you know where I'm streaming. You know what's live. You know what we're doing. I'm wound up tonight. I'm ready to go. It's going to be a good show. Well, it's because I drank a lot of fucking coffee before the show. Little jittery right now. One of my TVs isn't working in the background. I don't like this. That's not a good omen. It's not a good omen. Yeah. But, well, let's get this party started. Let's bring on the one, the only, the impeccable Look at you.
Hey,
huh? What?
Hey,
you're back in your hostel.
Yeah. I got laundry going in the other part there. It's gonna be noisy. The mic would pick it up.
I got laundry going in my other part of the studio. For the listeners, Lou is in a jacket and a shirt and a tie, and he made an announcement before the show. I didn't. You're looking good, buddy. Looking good.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
Sharp dressed man. You wear it well.
I was listening to some Robert Palmer.
So that's funny. You should talk about him. You should mention him. I'm going to bring him up as soon as we get done bringing on little
Marky Smith.
Is this Milk Duds?
Marky Smith.
Is this Milk Duds and Kumquats?
Little Marky Smith.
Hey, how you doing?
Little Marky Smith.
Lou?
Yeah. That's Mark.
Shut up. No, you shut up.
Little Marky Smith.
I'm getting the last word.
I feel like Gulliver.
Mom.
Little Marky Smith.
No, big, too heavy Marky Smith. Now, come on.
Good evening, Patty Yossi. Good evening, Alyson Lundy.
Lou, I got to say something. The suit on Lou kind of makes me a little morose because I'm thinking that's what Neil Peart would have looked like if they had inducted Rush into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sooner.
Did you say verbose?
I don't know.
I'm
trying to be.
Mimosa?
I'm from
a
Jersey.
Mimosa?
We try long words in New Jersey. It doesn't always work for us, but, come out like Mad Dog Russo. Yeah.
He's morose, right?
Yeah,
so,
sanguine.
So Robert Palmer, it's funny you mentioned him, Lou.
Why is that?
I was listening to a song from on the radio, and if you really look at it, he did what there's very few in rock that do what he did, and that is come in as a single, just a singer.
Yeah.
Right? And he wasn't a pop singer, right? He
Not,
wasn't.
not in the sense most people would think. I don't think.
No. He sang, he had his own groove. He had his own style.
It was
He
like
had his-
R&B and kind of a soul thing.
yeah. And he's a white guy, right?
Yep.
But I just look at his career and I'm like, you know what? Good for him. Like the dude, that's got to be one of the hardest things to do is just be a singer
Yeah.
and come into the music industry and be successful. Because if you look at, what do you think the percentile is, Mark, of singles, just lone singers that make it?
Very few.
A lot of times it's pretty schlucky material too.
Yeah. And they don't last long.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you got Boz Scaggs had a career as just a singer.
Yeah, but at the same time, he plays guitar.
Yeah, it's true. I think the best example of that, the one that really did was Rod Stewart. He always covered material. He
Well, he
interpreted
came in with a
songs.
band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Joe Cocker is another one.
Joe Cocker, he might be more of an exception. Whatever but he was known as Joe Cocker first.
Yeah.
To us anyway.
Yeah.
Van Morrison came in with a band.
Them.
It's just Robert Palmer came in by himself and kind of created his own niche, in music, and it was good.
Yeah.
He wasn't the greatest by any means.
No, I guess as far as like a technical singer, no.
Right. But he just was smooth, and he always kept that, he always dressed impeccable, kind of like Brian Ferry type.
Or me.
Or so if Lou was the singer tonight, he's dressed like Robert Palmer. There you go. That's how I can give the listeners a good
You look better.
perspective.
Feel the heat.
Jesus.
When he was in Power Station, it was pretty cool because he never considered that a thing that was going to go on. And I think the Duran Duran guys expected more. And it was funny because I think I read an interview. He goes, I'm not going to have these kids tell me what to do. Maybe being almost a generation older.
Yeah, and that's like the confidence that you have, right? But he had his little stay in the 80s too. He wasn't like an old guy that came in and like a Roy Orbison joining the Wilburys, like the oldest one there, and he's Robert Palmer had been around.
Oh, I think
he was still around in the 80s.
Yeah, I think he was considered a sex symbol during that part too.
You think?
There's videos. I think so. A guy I worked with, he goes, I thought he was the coolest dude when I was like 12. He goes, I want to look like that.
There you go then. Yeah. Yep. Whoever produced those videos, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of the best marketing. They figured out the whole ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Type thing. Have an ongoing theme. And
girls.
But that, Addicted to Love, that everybody was like, what? It was just a great concept.
Yep. And that drum sound had a lot to do with it, I think. It sounded big. It was big and fat and huge on the radio or however you heard it.
Yeah.
That was the 80s. 80s brought in the big drum sound too.
Absolutely. Yes. And I liked Power Station's version of Bang a Gong, by the way.
I did too.
Me too.
I
love the
think
whole
they did a
album.
respectable job. They didn't try to, they put their little twist on it, a more modern, harder edge to it. Of course, no one can beat that's one of those songs where the original is just always going to be the best version.
Yeah.
Because it was stripped down, right? So Power Station went the total opposite direction and gave it a big
80s sound.
Modern
big booming sound.
Gated drums and everything.
Yeah.
In the original though, it's kind of cool in those breaks when it goes when the drums come in, it's such a simple boom. It's so simple, but
it's stripped down. It's just sleek. It's smooth. It's one
catchy.
of those songs. That's what keeps it that's what makes it an epic song, really.
Right? I always like catchy too.
Yeah.
Catchy.
Yeah, the groove.
Corny.
That dun. Like it's just a groove that everybody can listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's been going on, gentlemen?
Whole lot. I need a recharge. I need a recharge. It's time for. I'm going to get a recharge soon.
Okay.
Take some time off and.
Now I have to ask you. You didn't get you didn't get all dressed up just for the podcast because I know it's a live stream, but
I
the
was
live
offered,
stream is just a means to an end.
it's confidential. I was offered a slot on a ticket. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Are you going to Chicago in a week?
My ticket. I've got my ticket.
Oh, look at Mark gets dressed up with his KFC.
Nice try, Mark.
No, that look at it's a KFC scarf.
It is, yeah.
It's Liverpool FC, you
KFC.
motherfucker. You
It's,
fuck.
all right,
That-
for the listeners
Scott,
again, go watch this on YouTube. The first thing you're gonna see when you look at Mark and he has this fucking scarf on, it's red with white letters, and all you see is FC.
Pretty much,
So
yeah.
it's pretty much KFC. Oh, now it looks like a Christmas scarf. That's even worse, dude.
Obviously, you don't know footy culture, so.
No, it doesn't matter. By the way,
I have no
42
idea.
more Wednesdays to Christmas. So
Nice.
we're right there. Or 32. I think
That'll
it's
go
32.
like that.
I like Christmas.
It'll
I
be
like
cool.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's
I always
cool.
ask on quizzes, what's your favorite holiday? Call me a traditionalist. It's Christmas.
I love Christmas. I really do. But Thanksgiving just seems to be my favorite because that's when my house is full and I am.
That's my daughter's favorite. She will not work on Thanksgiving. She'll volunteer
That's
to take
cool.
Christmas.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to work on Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Yeah. I just have have friends and their families over but the
Yeah.
bad part of that is eventually that's going to kind of start to succeed. It's just natural, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because kids grow up, their kids grow up, and then there's splitting time, and it's kind of like that. It just kind of hurts just that much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Christmas is really stripped down to just the family. You know?
Yeah, this will be the first Thanksgiving without my daughter. Oh,
Wow.
Oh boy.
wow.
Oh, see, now, look at Mark. For the
Wow.
listeners, Mark just wiped his eyes and he did a little sniffle, and he's a daddy daughter.
And now
he
his eye-
blacked himself out. Yeah.
Now his eyes smell like fried chicken.
Respect the
Did
club.
I ever
It's
tell
that
you?
chemical.
Hey,
did I-
hey, they're owned by Fenway Sports Group, so for better or for worse.
Did I ever tell you the KFC strip club story?
Oh, it involves Greece.
I
I
don't
guess.
think so.
Okay, so when I was in customs, we're going back to probably the 2000. We'll just say like 2007, 2008, right? One of my buddies is retiring, and they have a retirement party at a strip club in Hollywood, Florida. So, all right, I'll go. And I hadn't been to one of those in a long time. And my wife's cool. She's just like, she's just don't bring it home type thing, right? So I attend, and there's a bunch of us there, all these customs guys. And the dude that's retiring knows that I kind of like Asian girls, right? I don't know. It's just a thing, right?
Oh, the secret's out.
Gee, big secret.
Never
right?
guessed that one.
And there's this gorgeous Asian stripper in there. Gorgeous, right? And out of nowhere, she just comes up and grabs my hand and says, "Come on." And I'm like, I'm not paying for this. And she points at my buddy. She goes, "He paid for it." Right? So I'm going to get the lap dance, right? Now, nothing seedy happened. I didn't there was not, it's not that guy, especially in those rooms. I know there's cameras in those rooms. So, you get the lap dance and she's, like a snake, you know what I mean? Like writhing around and trying to get that extra tip, you know what I mean? Acting like, oh, I really like you and blah, 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 blah. So when she's done, we walk back over and I sit down and she walks away and I'm like, oh, fuck. She got me. She got me with the stripper dust.
You couldn't go home.
Stripper dust. I'm like, I smell like stripper dust.
Oh, God.
I'm like, oh, fuck, this isn't good, right? But I kind of, I get napkins and I'm trying to wipe. No. So, all right, it's time for me to go. Like, I check out and I get in my car and it even smells more like stripper dust now.
And your
This
car's
is a
going to
true
smell
story.
like And your car's going to smell like it.
Now, yeah, but I'm driving home, and I say, oh, I see a KFC. I have an idea. So I call my wife, and I said, hey, baby, I'm on my way home. Do you want some KFC? And she's like, sure. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I go through the drive-through, and I order, like an 8-piece bucket or whatever it is, right? And it comes with 4 biscuits, and I'm like, can I get an extra biscuit for whatever, 40 cents? And they're like, sure. So I pay for my order. I drive out of the drive-through, and I pull into the first spot that I see, and I reach in that box. And I pull out a biscuit, and I smell it, and I proceed to rub that fucking biscuit all over my neck, my arms. I'm fucking rubbing the biscuit all over me, right? There's crumbs literally everywhere, right?
Things do fall apart.
I fucking rub that biscuit all over me, and I get out of the car, and I get all the fucking crumbs out, and I get home, and my wife says, why do you smell like a biscuit? It worked.
It worked.
The only way to fight stripper dust is a KFC biscuit. It fucking worked because I did. That's all you could smell was biscuit. I go, I don't know. I was sitting next to it in the car, and I don't know. You know how the smell gets stuck on you.
Now, let me ask you. With your taste in food, did the biscuit turn you on rubbing against you more?
Well, I had other things in mind, like not making my wife fucking lose her mind. So my priority was just smell like a biscuit, right? Yep. So for all you listeners out there, all you men, if you ever go to a strip club and you get doused with stripper dust, find a fucking KFC, buy a box of biscuits, eat 2 of them, and rub the 3rd one all over you. And you will smell like a biscuit. And you can explain that away easily.
Yeah.
I'm just getting a rash.
Yeah, the fucking KFC
Grease.
biscuit. Because I'm like, I don't know what made me think of that.
Like DFC,
why
maybe?
would I think of biscuit? But it fucking worked.
It worked.
Because they're moist, right? So they still got that oil on them. And fucking just biscuit.
They're good. They're good.
And then I eat
the
one
chicken
on the
alone
way
can
home,
seep
so.
in.
Huh?
The chicken alone can seep into your clothing a bit for a ride home.
Exactly. So then I ate one on the way home. So then when she said, why do you smell like a biscuit? I say, well, there was 4. Now there's 3 in there because I ate one on the way home.
The conspiracy thickens.
See? Fucking always thinking, buddy. Wheels always turning in this house, buddy. Got to avoid the wrath of Khan.
True.
Yeah.
My wife was cool, but
God rest her soul. She was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And but she did not like that. When she said, don't bring it home, we went to Hooters one time when I had my friends come down. And she didn't know any. We'd never gone to Hooters, but all she heard was the stories about Hooters, right? And the girls. And so my buddies wanted to get pictures with these Hooters girls, right? They're Florida girls, and they're all pretty. So we get pictures, and then my buddy gets them developed, and before he leaves, he hands me the pictures, and I look at them, like, okay, and I put them on the counter, and I come home later on that day, and she is furious. I told you don't bring this into the house. I go, baby, it was just, no. Don't ever bring this into the house. All right. I'm not, okay, I'm good. I apologize. He gave me the pictures, and she just we never fought. We never argued. We just don't talk, which was always the best way to do things. Because you don't say something that you're going to regret.
right.
Because in those moments, you say something, they lock that shit in.
Oh, yeah.
And it will come back on you 2 years later.
I'm 55, and I still stuff when I was 28 comes up in conversation.
Yeah, nope, this is how you like it. So that's how you get it. But that was 2 years ago, baby. Nope. This is how you like it. That's how you're going to get it. How do you remember that, baby? How do you? It's not hard.
It's in the wiring.
All right, time for 45 poker. We're going to play with Patty this week, too. Patty's in on the game, Lou. We decided who was it? Was it Lou wasn't here, Mark?
Yeah,
Mark,
Lou wasn't here.
No, you weren't here, Mark. And Alyson sat in for you. So
Oh, okay.
it was when you chose your friend's
Yes.
like emergency health situation over the podcast,
Really?
which Lou and I won't forget. For this will come up 2 years from now. Don't worry.
Walter, if you're
Words on,
listening,
that's right.
Walter, if you're listening, this is what Scott thinks of you.
Now, well, listen, 154 episodes, right? What's gotten in my way? Nothing.
That's true.
That's right.
All the-
Okay, we're starting
the-
off with you, Mark.
All the snowstorms in Boca, they never stopped the show.
That's right. Okay, so this is a unique thing. There's 245s in this package, right? There's 245s. They're both from private stock records. So the one here on top is disc 1, and the one on the 2 is disc 2. Mark, which 45 do you want? 1 or 2? I'm not looking at them.
I have an affinity for number 2, so pick number 2.
Something right just doesn't sound. All right, so it's from private stock records. Oh boy, you got Rocky
Ooh.
by Austin Roberts,
Oh,
and then You Got the Power by Austin Roberts.
Austin Power.
Yeah, you'd probably be better off with Austin Power.
Okay, I'm losing so far.
Oh yeah, you're already in a big deficit. Here you go, Lou. This is it, Lou. It's
Lou is on the board.
Chelsea Records, Lou. Chelsea Records. What do you know anything about them?
Absolutely nothing.
All right.
I only acted like I sound like I did.
Okay, well, here we go.
We both didn't.
You got I Want to Dance With You, Do That Dance by Discotheques and the Sexolettes. Ouch. It's better than Austin Roberts.
Yeah. Not much, but better.
All right, now we're gonna do me, and then Patty will be the fourth pick. Patty says, "What does stripper dust smell like?" It's a combination of like glitter and heavy perfume, very sweet smelling
Cotton
perfume.
candy.
They put it on purposefully because they know that the guys there, they don't usually like the guys that go there. They're in it for the money. So they have these little ways of, I'm not going to say I dated the stripper when she told me this stuff, but they have these little ways of getting like, I'm fucking with the customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. That's
And-
why they writhe on you like a snake and they rub all that shit all over.
And if they get divorced, they'll be back more.
Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, here we go. This is mine right here. It's from Columbia Records. Columbia Records. Oh, RSO Records in a Columbia
Okay.
package. Fame, Irene Cara. Well, I'm in the lead.
Same.
All right, Patty. Here you go. Playing from home. Patty's playing from home. Let's see.
The remote.
What do we
version.
got for Patty? What do we get? These are her 45s, like I always say, by the way. But I did incorporate some of mine in them with them. So here we go. MAM Records. MAM Records. Ooh. This Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again Naturally.
Oh.
Was that a bigger hit than Fame though?
It's a better
We'll
song.
figure that out as
Chart
as the next-
position. Chart position. Probably not.
Right. We'll figure that out as the rounds continue. All right, back to you, Mark.
Yep.
45 poker. It's the best.
Wait,
three.
that was me. It's me.
Huh?
Is it? Oh no, Mark's first. That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to run this segment, Lou? Is this
No, I'm good.
Is this Music Relish where you can just take a segment? Is that what this is? Are you confused, Lou? Is the suit giving you a little power surge because
Yeah,
I
pretty
need
much.
you on this podcast? Are you playing that game?
No.
Wait,
I
you
don't
two
play
are the
those-
buddies.
I don't
I'm
play
the
those
outcast.
kind of games.
Well, I don't know.
I'm doing this to feel
Lou's
good about
getting-
myself, Scott.
Don't make me go all Perry on your ass, boy.
Ooh. It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot in here.
All right.
All right, here we go, Mark.
Okay, Mark can go now.
Milk duds and kumquats. Yeah.
Oh, okay. RSO Records. This is a real RSO Records.
Oh,
Uh,
please let BBGs.
yeah, Bee Gees, but it's Love So Right,
Love's
Or-
so right.
You Stepped Into My Life.
Love so right.
That's a good
I think
song.
that's the A side.
You Stepped Into My Life?
No.
Love so right.
Love so right. It's
Not one of their
really-
biggest hits,
not-
but it was
not
a
one of
hit.
the bigger ones.
No,
Middle.
that's a bigger hit than you think. So,
Okay.
Okay. The professor says.
All right, here we go. Now
Okay,
it's
Lou.
Lou is from Warner Reprise Records. Warner Reprise.
Frank.
We got who is this? Oh, Leo Sayer. Leo Sayer.
I had this last week.
You got me in the morning. Right?
You make me feel like dancing.
You make me feel like dancing. Gonna dance the night away. You make me feel like dancing. Gonna dance the night away. You make me. Okay, that's enough of that.
Doom, 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 doom.
That was a hit, though.
That was a pretty big hit.
Yeah, yeah.
That might rival
So-
Fame. That might have been a bigger hit than Fame. Even.
So you got Disco Text though. That's your hurt. That's your
all I-
hurt
that's
card
all I
right there.
need.
All right, here we go. This could jump me into a good spot right here. Come on. From Columbia Records. There it is. Oh.
Billy Joel.
Okay, the Manhattans. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. Dun, 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 dun. Right? So I got two solid. It's a
Fame was a
solid
bigger
hand.
hit. Yeah.
Right? It's a solid hand.
Yep.
You guys got a couple of hurts in there. Lou, that Disco Text might be your downfall, Lou. All right, here you go for Patty.
Patty could tie
this
it
could
up
put
with you.
Patty in the lead right
Yeah,
here. Yeah. Atco Records. Atco. And let me see. Patty wrote something on this.
Don't
says
read her
Patty.
diary.
It says Patty. See? She wrote Patty.
That's when you lent them out to each other. You went to parties.
Yeah. That's Patty. And then there's something YOU. She wrote like YOU on there. Interesting, right?
That's you.
okay. Atco Records. No, this is actually United Artist Records.
Okay.
In an Atco packaging.
It's a theme song.
Oh, what is it?
I bet it's a theme from a movie.
Ooh, she got two good solid hits right here.
Nice.
Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose. It's too late to turn back now. I believe. Now, was that a bigger hit than the Manhattans Kiss and Say Goodbye?
Good question.
You know? This all right. This is going to come down. Mark. All right,
I'm
Mark.
going to go with the Cornelius Brothers on that. I don't know. I'm leaning toward that. I think that might
Yeah?
have been a big hit.
All right.
All right. Getting my big box of wax out here. Let's go. So I'm picking for me first.
Yep.
Oh, I don't even need to open it up. The sleeve says it all. The Monkees. I'm a believer or I'm not your stepping stone.
You're still not going to win this one.
No, you're right. Wait, let me make sure that's what's in it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Col-
Look, Stairway to Heaven.
no. Colgam's Records.
I think when Mark has rivals equals Patty's. I think Love So Right was a bigger hit than you might think. I think. I'm hopeless
So
at
you
this
think
point.
Mark? You think now
I'm
that he
pretty
has,
much done.
but he still has that Austin Roberts.
Yeah.
You
45.
got the power. That was a big hit.
Austin Roberts. Get the fuck out. I got the power.
Yeah, see?
All right.
Is it possible that Austin Power song, if we all heard it, we'd be like, oh, yeah.
All right, Mark had the money, but it's no help. Now this is Lou. This could put Lou's in
Stairway to Heaven.
kind of a different
Stairway to
spot
Heaven.
right here.
Stars.
Motown Records. Motown.
Okay.
Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Oh,
It's either I'm living in shame or I'm so glad I got somebody like you around.
Why don't you guys pick? I don't know
Huh?
either one of those songs.
I don't know either one of them.
I don't either one.
yeah, dead. It's a dead. It's a dead
What?
card. Dead card.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Yeah,
Lou
Patty,
lost.
no.
It's between me and Patty now. It's between
Okay.
me and Patty.
Scott.
Come on, don't screw me.
I even put the one I picked first back and picked out a second one.
I don't.
Planet Records.
Mark has a stronger hand.
Planet Records. Pointer Sisters. Jump for My Love.
Jump. That was a big hit.
Yeah.
Jump. Yeah,
And
that's
I
a big hit.
actually
I got some
bought
consistency there.
this. Yeah. Okay. The most important pick, Patty. Here we go. Patty's pick.
All right. Can Patty have beginner's luck and win this one?
Ooh, let me make sure it's the same thing in there. Okay. Rod Stewart. Some guys have all the luck.
Yeah.
I think that's a big hit. Well, it was backed by. I was only joking. That wasn't a big hit.
So what was a bigger hit for that? The Pointer Sisters Jump or Rod Stewart's song?
I'm more familiar with Rod Stewart. Some guys. That was a big hit.
Some guys have all the luck.
By the way, Robert.
It
Robert
was.
Palmer did.
I think Jumps lasted longer.
I think the Pointer Sisters is probably, yeah. I'm just saying. I'm not, because it's mine. Patty wants to win. She's like, Rod.
Yeah,
No.
Rod. I agree with Patty. Rod.
All right, so let's go with the three. I have a solid Fame, big hit, right? Then I got the Manhattans, Kiss and Say Goodbye, big hit. And then the third one was what?
Jump. Pointer Sisters.
Jump.
The Pointer Sisters Jump. Patty has Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again Naturally. Too Late to Turn Back Now. Right? And Rod Stewart, Some Guys Have All the Luck.
I think Manhattan's is. I know it was a hit, but Patty seems to have three stronger hits. Your
Oh.
weakest is Kiss and Say Goodbye, definitely. But it comes
Yeah.
down to that.
Alone Again. I mean, I think that was the top 10. This is close. It's close. Yeah.
You gotta put
Let the viewers,
Oh,
let the American people decide.
Oh, I don't know who's out there. We're not as active as
there's
last
Patty.
week. The
Patty and Allison. Allison bailed.
Yeah. Oh, Patty says
Ah,
me. There's a delay on this now. I do think I have a better.
what does the professor say?
To me, it's
What
almost
does-
a draw. To me, it's almost a draw.
What does Michael Stipe say?
That's a frequency, fucker.
What does Michael Stipe say? I just saw that when you said that. I was like, oh,
I
shit.
believe in
There's pictures of him in a suit.
Time
You know
as
what?
an
You know what?
abstract.
It's Patty. It's her 45s. I'm going to give her the win.
Aw.
Her 45s. She had a good, solid hand. There's no such thing as a tie in this game, so I'll give Patty the win.
Did Allison win last week? Did my sister win?
I think she had a better hand than you had for like the previous 3 weeks or something like that.
Well, she is my older sister, so
Yeah.
she can kick my ass anytime. Patty
All
is
right.
the winner.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's a wiener.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Fucking rabble rousers in the house.
He's got an acronym with him.
Yeah.
He's carrying an acronym.
He came in strong with an acronym. We can see what kind of mood he's in
What the hell
tonight.
does it mean? What does it mean?
Yeah.
DEI.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Latin.
Colin, your
It's
brother
like Opus
accused me
Dei.
of wearing a KFC scarf.
See, Lou, Allison, I didn't bail, she said.
Oh, you're in
See,
trouble.
she's been
I'm
paying
sorry.
attention.
I'm sorry.
How dare you, Lou? She's a big fan.
Sorry.
Allie.
And you go and insult
She
the
was-
fan.
she was yeah.
Who do you work for, Disney?
Allie, he's only a Park Ridge
I would
guy.
just like to say
He's
this
only
time
from
I
Park Ridge. Don't
misspoke.
worry
I happened to
about
misspeak.
We're from Hillsdale. We know what we're doing.
Here we go, New Jersey talk. Who
I'm not from Hillsdale, mister. I'm from South Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
You northern boys are, yeah, I moved up there. I moved uptown.
Uptown,
Hot to wear a scarf.
where I want to be. That's a good song by Prince. Uptown.
Yeah.
Uptown. off the Dirty Mind album, actually.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna pick an album from '76 that we didn't get to last week, and it's the Royal Scam, Steely Dan, my favorite Steely Dan song. Great album, very underrated, I think, in their catalog. It's always overlooked by Pretzel Logic and Asia, but I think it holds its own against them. You know, what do you think?
I do.
Yeah,
It's a great album.
Track listing on it is Kid Charlemagne. Starts off with Kid Charlemagne. The Caves of Altamira, Don't Take Me Alive, Signing Stranger, The Fez, Haitian Divorce, Everything You Did, The Royal Scam. How is that not one of their fucking best albums?
It's great.
You know what I mean? But nobody ever talks about it.
Well, there wasn't a hit, was there? There wasn't a big charter. Kid Charlemagne. I mean, they got radio play, album.
The Fed did, well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But any record, any Steely Dan fan, I think, could look at that and say, yeah, it doesn't really get the respect it deserves. Right. I think, and as we talk about Steely Dan albums,
right? Solid songs. I mean, you heard
all of those songs, by the way, are on their greatest hits.
Oh, okay, cool. Greatest hits. That's interesting. Maybe
Kid
they did try.
On there. Don't Take Me Alive.
On
The Fez, Haitian Divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The album that followed was full of hits.
And that was
Asia.
Yeah. So that's one of those. They just were on a fucking killer writing streak.
What was the album?
They were in the zone.
What was the album before that? In '75. Yep. Pretzel Logic was '74.
Let's see. I don't think I have that in front of me.
I can tell you in a second.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did they do an album in '75?
I think they did.
It was the live album.
What band in the '70s didn't do one
album every year?
And for Creedence, he did 2 a year.
Unless you're Bruce Springsteen.
Let's see. Discography.
Oh, Katie Lied was 75.
Yeah, Katie Lied. So they had Can't Buy a Thrill, Countdown to Ecstasy, Pretzel Logic 74, Katie Lied 75, Real Scam 76, Asia 77, Gaucho 80, right? And then they didn't do another album for 20 years.
Yeah.
But that's fucking, from Pretzel Logic to Gaucho is like, wow.
Yeah.
In 6 years.
Maybe one day I'll listen to Gaucho and like the album better. It's one I don't.
You don't
like the kick drum.
It's not just that. It's just the mature. I don't like the sound of it. I don't know.
80s?
I'm not crazy.
Were they trying to?
To me, they seem to go a little too in this heavily processed direction. And like I said, as slick as Steely Dan kind of were.
Kind of getting smooth.
They were still a rock band, but it became a little too. I mean, I felt the same way about the Doobie Brothers with Minute by Minute, and that's the same time frame.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just a little too slick that I didn't really care for.
Yeah. All right, Mark, give us an album from '76.
I'm trying to remember what I said last week.
It doesn't. We'll correct you. Don't worry.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wired, Jeff Beck. That was the second album of Fusion. He went from hard blues rock to fusion, and no singles on there that you would know, but it was he was definitely in this the really tight sound. And I don't know if you listen.
I don't know much about Jeff Beck. I've never
all the cool
an
kids
album.
in high school when I was going to high school in the '80s. They had either that album or the one before it painted on their denim jackets because that's a guitar player.
Yeah.
He was the guy. He was the friends. Part of the Holy Trinity: Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page. But Beck always did his own thing. He went off and did whatever the hell he wanted. That's what I loved about him.
Right. All right, Lou.
Gordon Lightfoot, Summertime Dream.
Yeah.
That had Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald on it.
Greatest story ever told on vinyl.
It's a lot of words in that song.
Like I said, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Anytime you get the fucking word "getcha gumi" in a song, that's a winner.
Fucking right.
That's fucking masterful.
Yep. And
That's
look, the way
masterful.
he sings it, the word's not bird in there. It's Gitchy Goomy.
Yeah. From the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like he did his homework. He did his geography.
That's right. You got the story right.
Yeah, he got it right.
The drum on that's the legendary Jim Gordon. Mark does a really good Jim Gordon impersonation he did on Music Relish the other night.
Oh, really? Let's hear it.
Yeah. Jim Gordon, legendary drummer.
Mom.
Oh, is he the one that did he kill his mother?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I knocked on my desk.
You're terrible, Mark. You're
Mom.
terrible.
So when I did it last week, I knocked on my desk, and my wife and my son went downstairs. It did so loud. Somebody was banging on the door. Not doing that anymore.
Needless to say, I was appalled.
Yes, you were. Just like with Whistly Grist and all that. Yeah.
Absolutely appalled.
Oh my god!
All right, Lou.
I just did mine, didn't I?
Oh, you did yours. Yeah. I'm going with my real. This was my real introduction to Bob Seger is the Night Moves album.
Good album.
That was my big introduction to Bob Seger, and it was like I fucking sat in the beanbag chair. I had my Harman Kardon headphones on that I didn't know what I had at the time. I don't think me and my brothers knew that my father was giving us some quality fucking equipment, and because he was an audiophile. My father loved him. And his friends loved they knew good stereo stuff, and they knew good stolen stereo stuff too. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, and I sat in that orange beanbag chair in what we called the middle room because we were a very small apartment, and I had those, and I listened to this album front to back numerous times over, like in one sitting, you know. Rock and Roll Never Forgets, Night Moves, Fire Down Below, Sunburst Baby, right? Sunburst.
He sang that one drunk.
Sunspot Baby, Sunspot Baby. Main Street, Come to Papa, Ship of Fools, and Mary Lou. I mean,
yeah, solid record.
Solid
Good,
fucking
good
record.
Probably, I think it's his best. That
Good balance of
I would say it's his best. Yeah,
good balance of hard rockers and some of his most heartfelt ballads. I mean,
and some great
Main
musicians.
Street, yeah.
I think he used the Memphis Boys, the Memphis Gang, whatever we're called on that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they were the wrecking crew of Muscle Shoals.
Main Street is one of those songs that I'll always listen to.
Yeah,
and Night Moves too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Do you have Sirius XM?
I do.
Yes.
All right, now let me ask you this: do you have a feature in yours? Maybe it's, I don't know, each car, whatever package comes with. But I've noticed this over the last 2 or 3 months that every time I turn to a channel, I don't catch the middle of songs anymore. It backs up to the beginning of a song. So every channel, and then it has a setting where you can rewind it. Now, they used to have that in the old original Sirius, like the kit that you would put in your car, and you would run the fucking cord up to your roof and had a little magnet. That was your antenna, right?
Yeah.
And they had it where you could stop it, had a little remote, and you could rewind it, or it would hold for 45 minutes. And then it would kick on to live music. But I just noticed, it didn't dawn on me until I'm like, why do I keep hearing the beat? Am I that lucky? Like driving up to St. Augustine, I'm like, hour and a half into it, I'm like, how do I just keep hitting the beginning of songs?
Yeah.
Like, wow, I should play the lottery. Wrong. It's a new feature. So.
Yeah, well, I got, just if anyone's looking to save money, I elected the streaming only plan, which is the cheapest. So I got it on my phone because everyone's got Bluetooth in their car. And with the phone, I can go back and forth between live. Yeah, I can hit live and it'll go into whatever they're playing. But I like that feature because you see a song you like, you're not going to go in the middle,
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Give us an album, Mark.
I'm going to go with Wind and Wuthering, the second album in 1976 from Genesis.
That's right, 2 records.
Yep. And it was the last album of Steve Hackett.
They did 2 records that year.
Yeah.
And probably a tour also.
And I'm putting Scott to sleep with that one.
No. Does Genesis have the Fleetwood Mac syndrome?
What do you mean?
After Peter Gabriel?
Like a transition? No, they went
They were
from.
more popular when Phil Collins took over.
It was a pretty seamless transition. I feel like it was a little different.
What were their
but
hits with Peter Gabriel?
They didn't really have many hits.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the Lamb
Phil
Lies Down on
Collins took
Broadway.
over,
Yeah.
right? It's like nobody knows. There's a generation that doesn't really. They know Peter Gabriel as a solo artist, but nobody listens that I knew. We weren't listening to Genesis pre Phil Collins.
No. If you did, you went back to it. I think for the most part, I agree. I
So
mean, the first time I heard them was "Follow You, Follow Me,"
Yeah.
and so that wasn't the first album with Phil Collins as a singer.
No.
That was the first album after Steve Hackett, the guitar player, left. So
Yeah. So they had 2 albums right after Peter Gabriel left that were really good progressive albums. No big. Well, Trick of the Tail had a couple songs that were on the radio, but nothing huge.
they had some album AOR.
And then when Steve Hackett left, they did it, and then there were 3 which had no hits until the very last song is "Follow You, Follow Me." So it was like at the very end they're saying, "Okay, this is what we're going to start doing," and it's a great song.
It's a great song.
And
Duke
they
came out,
exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love everything from Genesis. I'm unapologetic.
From that point on, they were one of the powerhouse bands of the '80s.
Yeah.
I still listen to Abacab. I still listen to Invisible Touch. They're good albums.
And
Yeah.
Duke is a good record.
Excellent album.
In fact, that was the first after "Follow You, Follow Me." That was the breakthrough record commercially for them.
What's your favorite Genesis song, Lou?
Oh God.
It's a hard to.
I mean, it depends. If I'm in the mood. Lately, it's been things from Trick of the Tail, Dance on the Volcano, Squonk. I think of their big period, I do like Abacab is a great song. It's also a jam. It's a jam that was a hit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you actually know which one in the modern period. It's a sick fucking song, but it's powerful. Mama from the Genesis record.
Yeah.
Turn on, turn. Yeah.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Great song.
Why does it sound so lame?
Because I don't have it hooked up to my.
Now,
I mean, like it sounds slow.
But in my opinion, I don't think Duke is a kind of a muddy sounding record to me.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go.
Don't get us kicked off YouTube.
That in a radio. That sounds just like him.
Yep. Yep.
That's
love
my favorite Genesis song. By far.
In the
I
80s.
love Abacab too, by the way. I do love that song.
And in the 80s, he had an edge to his voice. He was almost screaming at times. It was like hard pop. Some of those songs. He was like just great to blast. Remember 3 Sides Live? That was a really intense album.
What about you, Mark? What's your favorite Genesis song?
It's impossible for me to pick out.
No. What's the first song that popped into your head?
Firth the Fifth,
Ah, yes.
which has the most haunting guitar solo and flute solo I think of, and that was with Peter Gabriel.
That was the problem with Genesis and Peter Gabriel. They used fucking flutes.
Shut up! I'm a toll fan.
End of story.
But
End
can I
of
tell you
story.
something?
I think case closed, subject dropped.
It's I agree. I think if they had not had Lamb Lies Down on Broadway with Peter Gabriel, that was something that did get them some attention. Before that they were probably kind of floundering, at least in the States. But at the same time, I think Phil Collins is a better singer. I like Peter Gabriel so much better solo.
Me too.
Yeah. It's a great song too. Home by the Sea.
Oh yeah,
from the Genesis record.
Both
Every time I deliver to a nursing home, that song is in my head.
It's about ghosts.
Oh, it's about old people. It's pretty friggin'
It's about delivering wine to the old people.
Oh God! And then you're walking down the aisle, and they're just farting in front of you freely.
That's what I do.
Passing wind. You're like, oh.
All right, so
That's what
Genesis put out an album after Phil Collins left with singer
God.
Steve Wilson, and that's got one of my favorite Genesis songs called "Shipwrecked." It's a great ballad. They weren't
what's
so
the
bad.
guy's name? Tony something?
Steve Wilson.
Not Steve.
Ray Wilson. Ray Wilson.
Ray Wilson.
Poor guy.
Ray Walston from My Favorite Martian. Was
There you go,
singer in
Mr.
Genesis.
Hahn. Mr. Hahn.
Mr. Hahn. Yes.
Hey, hold it down for a second. It's all yours, guys. Hold on.
He was also he played in The Stand, the first movie. He was Bateman, the professor.
I can't remember the first one. I when it came out, I loved it.
Really?
I love that they used "Don't Fear the Reaper," and I remember watching it. but I think it was I didn't have time to watch all the parts. I think it was like 3 parts, right? And it was really long.
It was like 10 hours or something.
Yeah, I gotta track that down on DVD.
It's better than the remake.
Yeah,
Although,
that's what I've heard.
although it's kind of disappointing in some ways, it's much better than the remake. Remake sucked.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna watch it then.
All right, who's up?
Screw it.
Lou, I think. Well, I just did it.
Al Stewart, You're the Cat.
The Year of the Cat. And I love the whole story behind that. I've told that a couple times, but that, you know.
There's some stories on that. He did a lot of storytelling. A lot of his songwriting is storytelling.
Oh, by the way, my nonprofit, One Man, One Mic, Healing Through Storytelling, I'm one step away from being a 501c3 nonprofit.
Nice.
One step away. I got approved by the state
Small
today.
hurdle.
Awesome.
The state of Florida. So now it's just the IRS giving me the designation, and
Nice.
and I'll be asking you guys for money. But anyway,
So you're gonna pay us
Every week.
yeah, you know, there's 80 episodes you guys have been on that you haven't put it all. It's time to fucking pay up. I'm only kidding.
You will speak to my agent.
Yeah, that carries more weight than
I have,
me.
I have representation.
Okay,
I'm
Michael
wearing a
Stipe.
suit.
Everybody hurts.
Frequency, fucker.
Everybody's loose.
What's the frequency, Schmitty?
Patty says, well, thank you. Congrats, Scott. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's quite an undertaking, but I'm doing it.
The Undertaker.
That's what you dress like, really. I guess it's
Really
me.
bereaved.
Let's see. So this album, it's a good album. It's a good album. Not a great album, but it's a classic 70s album. Steve Miller, Fly Like an Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Big radio song.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Big radio song. Fly Like an Eagle. That nice opening riff. It's one of those, you know it as soon as you hear it. You got the space, and it's an instrumental leading up to it, right? Like that space, right?
Electro Luxemburglio. No, that's on the other record after that.
He's
does
got
that a bit.
Take the Money and Run is on that album. Rockin' Me. You Send Me. These are the ones that I highlighted. I listened to the whole albums, but those are the songs that stick out, you know? But yeah, it was a good album for the 70s. It's a true 70s album.
His intention was to do something really simple. It's pretty much a 3-piece band, guitar, bass, drums, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
but
I saw him back up Journey, and he was good. He had he has more hits than people think.
Yeah, he does.
He played Abracadabra and just fucking.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that if you see him live,
He didn't write that though.
I know.
He did.
Thank God.
No, Gary Malaber, the drummer, wrote it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, he didn't put a lot of fucking thought into it. I can tell you that.
That's the beauty of the stupid hit, because that song's almost novelty in a way.
It is.
With those
It
stupid
is, yeah.
sound effects. I mean, that's the guitar.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when Steve Miller did Fly Like an Eagle, he said pretty much anything you could say with rock and roll as far as guitar has been said already. He made that statement, then he did that record, but then Eddie Van Halen came along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got vinyl scratching, we got needle scratch going on in the music.
I thought there was rain coming in my room.
What's going on?
It sounds like you're playing a
It's
record.
ambiance music. It's got
I got needle scratch going.
got dewdrops.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to?
Let me see something. There we got something like that, right? Let me try this over here. No, not that one. Here we go.
Oh. Ouch! That hurts. Don't do that. That's a record being ruined.
No, that's bad.
Ah. Having fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just breaking the action. All right, back to the show.
Having fun because there's a TV out behind you.
Oh, fuck you. That shit drives me crazy.
It's driving me
Little
crazy.
things.
Yeah.
And before I came in, I waited to the last minute that you guys know, and I was like, fuck, it's doing it again.
I thought you had no power or something. You know?
Nah, it's a Roku thing. It's a Roku thing. And it accentuates Spider-Man's head, so whatever.
And yours.
I do this. All right, who's up?
Me. You're gonna crucify me for saying this. It never was a big album to me, but Rocks from Aerosmith. I mean, I gotta listen to it.
Oh, it
again.
was a big album where I'm from.
It never hit me as big as the one before it or other albums. But
Last Child is a big fucking. That was the jam off that album. But if you listen to it, it's a fucking hard hitting.
I'm gonna listen
album. It's and it's consistent, just like their first 3 albums before that, or 2 albums before that. 3, right?
Yeah.
So you had Dream On, then you had Get Your Wings, then you had Toys in the Attic, then you had Rocks, right?
Yeah.
As consistent as you can get, like for 4
Get Your
albums in a row.
Wings might be my favorite of their 7 days.
I love Get Your Wings.
It's
I just
dirty,
love
it's
the whole
bluesy.
feel of that whole. And Train Kept a Rolling and I wore the grooves out of featuring Dream On, but they just matured. It was a more mature album, and then Toys in the Attic was more much like they just kept growing and
Their
getting
songwriting,
bigger. Yeah, and but Rocks is, and that's why I said, why is Joe Perry never considered in the greatest guitarist conversation?
I agree. I think some of his playing.
You
is
listen to
great.
those songs. I mean, he's a hard hitting, consistent.
Yeah,
I hear that fucking scratch too.
Do you think that kind of he went away as a notable guitar player when they went to the modern age?
No, I think he's still shone through. His guitar playing still came through. That's the one saving grace. When they did all the commercial stuff, he was still out there playing the good riffs. You know?
Yeah, I just think he's just one of those guys. They think he's gets that middle of the road treat, middle of the road great guitarist. You know, rock in the rock world. Just doesn't get any recognition.
Yeah,
you never hear him talked about.
Yeah.
But Aerosmith is one of the biggest bands in history. Right?
How was he considered back in their heyday?
I mean, he was considered I mean, everyone knew who he was.
Was he considered an original, or was he like?
But what's an original?
I was heard like
rock,
I was heard
I mean?
Stonesy comparisons to him. I think
I heard that too. That they were compared. There's no comparison. It's only because you have a singer and a good recognizable guitar player that fought. And they wrote songs together, just like Jagger and Richards, and they did a lot of drugs.
Didn't they have a twin? Didn't they have a twin's name? Or were they the
Toxic Twins?
The Toxic Twins.
Did they coin that, or was that some
They
writer?
did.
You know?
They did.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
So Glimmer Twins, Toxic Twins. Yeah.
Right.
But it doesn't take away. They're nothing like the Stones. Nothing at all.
No. You just had a front man that was dynamic and could jump around the stage, and and they
Joe
both
Perry
had
was the
big
king of
lips,
cool.
and they both had the same kind of haircut, and they was. I mean, you can see the comparisons.
There's nobody cooler than Joe Perry. I might even think that his stage presence beats Keith Richards.
All
He's
right.
a cool guitar player.
I'm going to tell you what's the one of the coolest, the fucking coolest video, coolest guitar player, fucking one of the coolest songs. I saw this again the other day, and I just looked at this motherfucker. I said, there's arrogance there, there's cockiness, there's a fucking strut, there's attitude. It's in his face. It's in the way he carries himself. It's in the way he plays his guitar.
No Gallagher.
Link Ray.
Oh,
when he plays Rumble.
Yes.
He fucking walks around that stage like a fucking king. And he's got this look on his face like, yeah, I'm fucking Link Ray.
Yeah.
Watch the video. It's
I've
fucking
seen it.
and he has this strut. I'm like, how is this guy not like up in the upper echelons?
he was
Not the biggest, but he should have been in the top, third.
Because when he was doing that music at that time, he was an outcast. He was almost like a punk. And he influenced Jimmy
gangster.
Page.
Was banned a bit too.
He was gangster, that motherfucker.
So
He was inspiring rumbles between gangs.
And that's why that's why there was a problem with the song, right? Because they thought it was inciting violence. And,
Is he considered a virtuoso, or is he kind of like Bo Diddley, where they have a sound and they had recognizable songs?
he definitely wasn't a well versed, like could do anything. He wasn't like that at all. But he did what he did with.
He had great sound. He had great sound.
When I was like 10 years old, we used to get the UHF channels, and they would always show music shows from England on UHF. So that's how I discovered AC/DC. They had him on some show. I saw Link Ray, and he looked older then. It was in the 70s, but he still had the leather jacket, and he was one mean-looking guy. Do Jimmy Page. Right? Remember in the movie?
Watch the video, people.
Make yourself a drink,
Watch the
Vincent.
video. Just fucking struts around the stage like it's so fucking cool.
You know, my
And
son.
it's Link Ray and his men.
Yeah.
That's a fucking alpha dog right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Absolute boss.
One of the original Native American rockers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when they had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions, I think it's a couple of years ago. My son-in-law was in Brooklyn for it. All of a sudden, Jimmy Page, he didn't know he was going to be there. He comes out on stage playing that song because he inducted Link Ray. But I saw a video of it. It's gloriously horrible. You know, he can't even play it. It's a million mistakes. But,
Oh, really?
yeah, he came out. He's sitting up there. He goes, "Is that Jimmy Page?" He sees the double neck and he goes, "Holy shit, it's Jimmy Page!" You know, played it on the double neck. Go figure.
Well, oh,
Yeah, I just posted the video. It's
Cool.
fucking dude is just, oh man. So where were we? Where were we?
I did mine last.
All right. You know what? Let's jump in. We're at an hour. Let's move on to you make the call. You make the call.
All right.
got the power.
Oh, here we go, Lou. Lou, is that stuck in your head now?
Yes, it is.
By Snap.
Yep.
And the rapper's name is Turbo. He was a German dude, black dude. Yeah.
Turbo.
All right, Mark, you start off. You make the call.
Okay.
Jailhouse Rock or Mac the Knife?
I'm going with Jailhouse Rock because Mac the Knife doesn't have the menacing that Mac the Knife has.
Okay.
Mac the Knife's like a Broadway play, where Jailhouse Rock is more like an off-Broadway play, if you know what I mean.
All right, yeah. Lou?
Mac the Knife.
I gotta
I
go
knew.
with Mac the Knife. I gotta go too with Mac the Knife. It's just a fucking cool song.
If it was Little Sister versus Mac the Knife, I might have gone with Elvis.
Okay. I mean, Jailhouse Rock's heavy. It's hard hitting. You know,
I mean,
it's
you said
Mac,
it
Mac
is-
the Knife is a story, man.
but
Yeah,
Mac the
it's
Knife
true.
is just like, and then he ends it with, "Look out, old Mac is back."
Who sang it?
Bobby Darin.
Yeah, Bobby Darin. Yeah.
I have trouble saying Bobby Darin's tough, you know.
Well, he's not. Elvis wasn't tough either.
Yeah, you're right.
Although he
What?
practiced karate, but who did he ever fight?
The Elvis in the 70s.
Anybody
was
can
tough.
practice karate, but who are you fighting?
He fought Bruce Lee, didn't he?
No, that was the guy in Once Upon a
Brad
Time in
Pitt.
Hollywood. Lou.
Oh,
Brad
that's right.
Pitt's
That's
character. Yeah,
Brad
that's
Pitt.
great scene.
That was
Great
great.
scene. All right, Mark. You make the call.
Okay.
Whole Lot of Love. I like these choices that I put. I kind of just really did them.
Oh, you
Usually I
do
try
good
to
with
find
this.
two songs that are kind of similar and so. But these, I'm going with this one. Whole Lot of Love or Satisfaction.
Oh, you fucking asshole. You know what?
Whole Lot of Love or I Can't Get No
I
Satisfaction.
love them both, but I'm gonna have to go with Whole Lot of Love. It's a masterpiece, and it's so with the orgasm in the middle. It was so against everything. They were play it now. Pull into a laundromat, or when I ran the laundromat, and play it over the PA for people doing their wash. They
There you
just
go.
all look at the speakers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whole Lot of Love.
Lou?
When I first started playing drums, I could do that cymbal part and a whole lot of love, and then I'd lose it because I wasn't good enough. So I would say a whole lot of love.
So
I think it's a
songs-
masterpiece. That song is just
Both
a
so-
construction. you know.
both songs have epic openings.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the greatest riffs.
Both of
Satisfaction.
them,
Yeah.
both of them have some of the greatest opening riffs in the history of music. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no. You hear one note and you know exactly which song is which.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the Stones is a better riff.
Right.
But I think a whole lot of love is just like Mark said. It's a masterpiece.
I'm going to lean toward Whole Lot of Love because, as I've said this a few months back, I fell in love with that song again.
Same here. Same
I
here.
re-appreciated it after years and years of just discarding it because I heard it so much and I didn't really pay it much attention. but that one moment when you're driving in your car or you're sitting at home or you got the headphones on and this song comes on and you're like, what? That's a fucking good song. Like, what have I not been hearing again for the last 25 years? Because I'm 60, so 25 years ago,
For years, I couldn't stand Smoke on the Water. It came on the radio. I turned it off. Then I saw the Sopranos episode where Tony has his panic attack, but right before he has it, he's playing Smoke on the Water and he's banging his head, and he has a panic attack. And I said, I forgot how good that song is.
That's like a syndrome, right? You hear a song on a TV show or in a movie, and all of a sudden you put a visual to it, like a very cool scene in a cool movie or a cool show, and you're like, hey, and it's an awakening. It's like an awakening to the song again.
Living on a Thin Line in Sopranos. Layla. I couldn't listen to Layla, and when it was in Goodfellas, we fell in love with it.
How about Sister Goldenhair on The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's right. Okay, here we go. Mark, you make the call. In the Air Tonight or Don't Stop Believing? In the Air Tonight.
Sopranos does a winner for me this time. I'm going to go with In the Air Tonight because those lyrics are great. And Mike Tyson punched someone out to that song. So,
wow.
Lou?
I love a good drum riff.
Yeah, Steve Smith was great.
Someone said that's one of the most recognizable 10 notes in any song, and that's from the drums. That is highly unusual.
So
that is very unusual.
The movie came out. The Secret Policeman's on the Ball, right?
Yeah.
Sting was in it. Phil Collins was in it. They had, I don't know, there was some other big names that were in it. And Sting sang Message in a Bottle with just the guitar. Electric guitar, not acoustic, but electric acoustic type thing, right? And then Phil Collins did In the Air Tonight. And brilliantly, and you know what I'm talking about, brilliantly, when he gets to that point, he just stops because he's at the piano. And in your head, everybody to a person goes boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And then he hits the note
boom,
fucking perfectly, like he knew what we were thinking. Like whoever knew that was just ingrained in everybody's brain was a fucking genius to figure that out. That, like you said, Luke, those 10 notes are that like powerful.
Yeah. Well, I think when he was writing the song, he wrote the song with the drums in mind because, that's the first song I think most of us ever heard, unless you heard the Peter Gabriel album that came out before that, where they did that gated drum sound. But Phil was the drummer on it. Just when those drums came in, the sound alone was like, what the fuck was that? What is that?
Yeah.
It
was almost heavy metal.
It was just such a, percussive, obviously, but the syncopation behind that. So, when people think that when they're starting out, you realize he's dropping bass drum notes in there. It's like triplets, but, so it's even that's more complicated than it appears to be.
Let me see. Here we go.
But even after the drums throughout the song, through the rest of that, he's playing that beat, and those fills are just epic.
Oh, the live version. He's got to play the live version. Oh, it's the Secret Policeman's Ball. Okay. I haven't heard this in so long. Makes the lyrics more poignant.
What year was this?
He did this in '85. He did this version at the Live Aid show, but Secret Policeman's on the Ball, I think, came out like '80.
Yeah, okay. It was a long time ago.
81 maybe.
And so he does it again for Live Aid. So let's see.
Now, was that when he flew to Philadelphia, or was that back in England?
That
was England. Sure. I think England, he just did the piano. Yeah. Him and Sting.
It's coming up on this, right? Yeah, it is. so we don't get pulled
We
down.
can talk
right?
over it.
I think
His hair
if you talk, it can be considered for educational purposes.
For educational purpose. So
I wonder if he wore a
it's-
suit like Lou.
Well, but if you listen to what he
coming up
would,
right
right
now.
here. Shout.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But in the movie, The Secret Policeman's on the Ball, it was totally unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was like an amazing. It was just like fucking brilliant
Well,
movie.
Scott,
Yeah.
that is an amazing thing that him as a drummer can play that and have that running in his mind. There's another drummer that is that amazing, and it's Lou. Lou recorded a couple demos where he played the drums first before any of the other instruments. He was able to track his drum part. You don't hear about that. And then he added his guitars later.
I would never do it again.
But the fact that you can do
I'll
that,
never do that again.
That was a hard way to record.
your drums were steady.
Well, I played the drums. I sang it in my head,
Right.
so I could
right.
get the arrangement down. But
There you go.
no, there's some footage of Phil Collins when he's singing at the mic, but he gets up to the drums in time and he does the big fill and then finishes the rest of the song behind the.
Well, I
kit.
loved in Genesis when he would go back
Yeah.
and forth between
Yeah,
the drums.
that was Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Did we? Are we all set in the air?
Yeah.
I think.
What was the other song?
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Mark. You make the call.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, September, or Queen, Somebody to Love.
So September is one of
Do
those.
you remember?
It's one of those earworm songs, and even though it was a big hit, it should be. I mean, it's a good song, but come on, Somebody to Love is Freddie crying out. He needed love. Somebody to Love. I go with Queen.
Like I said, there's no wrong answers, but
Yeah, I
that's
know,
kind
but
of
I saw
soft.
Scott's patented. Oh Lord.
Yeah, you
Nah, that was a great song.
know, you know what I have to say to that, Mark. You know
Shut
what I
up.
have to say to that.
Shut up.
No, I say this.
I hear a crappy phone. We're live and
This is what
everything's
I'm
fucking
saying.
up. This is why we can't go live. Blah, blah,
That's all I hear.
blah.
That's
Ralph
Chris
Brandon.
Farley, by the way.
I'm not allowed to express my heartfelt sentiments
Yeah,
on this
okay,
show.
Lou, September or Somebody to Love.
September.
Great
I got to
song.
go with September too.
It's one of my son's favorite songs too.
Only because of Mark's explanation on Somebody to Love. So that just drove me in the other direction.
Poor Freddie. Poor
All
Freddie.
right. Dave Phillips, King of the 45s in the house. All right.
Hey, Dave.
Dave.
All right, Mark, you make the call.
I won't be sappy on this one.
Jackson 5, I Want You Back. Or George Harrison, I Got My Mind Set on You.
You love George, but I want Jackson's. That song is, to me, a much better pop song. Going with the Jacksons.
Lou?
If not just for the bass playing, Jackson.
Yeah.
There you go. Who was that? Was that Tito?
Might have been James Jamerson. Or
Okay.
I don't think that was Tito.
Which one played the guitar? They had Tito played the guitar. Jermaine played the bass, right? They always were holding two. There was always a guitar player on the stage, right?
Marlon?
At the beginning. Yeah, maybe it was Marlon, yeah. Yeah, I got to go with I Want You Back. Right? Is that what you said, Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great song.
All right, Mark, here you go. You make the call. Like a Rolling Stone,
Which version?
the only version.
Bob Dylan. Okay.
Yeah, the only version of that.
Jimmy's is good.
Or Fortunate Son.
Ooh. All right, shoot me. I'm going to go with Fortunate Son. I think it's a concise, angry pop song. But like you
Mark,
said,
I'm
there's
sorry.
no wrong answer.
Yes, there is. On this one, there's a wrong answer. I'm sorry, Mark.
Okay.
Sorry, Mark. You know what that means. Penalty box.
Oh, it's been a while.
He pointed the finger gun at you, so I had to save
Thank
you.
you.
I had to put you in the penalty box.
As always, it's for his own good.
What happened to Caesar with the thumb?
That's fine.
I'm used to that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was shooting you. That was
Yeah,
Okay,
he was-
can I have
Wait,
one?
no. I don't want to say anything.
Can I have Joaquin Phoenix doing the?
Lou, what's your choice?
What are the songs again?
Like a Rolling Stone,
Like a
or
Rolling,
Fortunate
like a
Son?
Rolling Stone,
Like a Rolling Stone.
Dylan. Yeah.
Not a Bob Dylan fan, but I got to go with Like a Rolling Stone. It's
Yeah, it's a tough
they're both
one.
great songs. There's no wrong answer here.
I feel
But,
guilty now.
Like a Rolling Stone is it is that's a great song.
Yeah.
Fortunate Son gets a little yelly and screamy, and
That's
you
why
know,
I
after like I
that's not my one
I
right
can
here.
only listen to that so much. You know, but Like a Rolling Stone is just one of those smooth moving
Yeah.
songs where you're driving. It's like it's an all mood song, right?
It was an
It's an
important
all mood song.
All mood song.
Yeah.
It was groundbreaking too. That was Dylan saying "fuck you" to the folkies, the old guard,
Yeah,
saying "I'm going to do what I'm going to do."
that's right. All right, Mark, you make the call.
Yeah.
Ain't No Mountain High Enough or Purple Rain?
Oh, Purple Rain. Purple Rain. To this day, I get goosebumps when I hear it. I can't. Fuck you, Lou. I could say "fuck you" to a man in a suit.
No,
I could
there's
say
no wrong.
He gave you you wanted the thumbs down.
You're-
You wanted him to do it, Mark. He
You're,
did it.
you're empowering me.
Mark's in the penalty box right now because he wanted Lou
Purple
to
Rain's
give the
a
thumbs
great-
up, and Lou didn't agree, so he gave him the thumbs down. So now Mark's in the penalty box. I'm sorry. I'm just keep show steady.
You're a harsh judge.
Scratching your face, Lou. I'm scratching your face.
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry.
I'm
No,
bashing your
Purple
head.
Rain's a great. It's a great song. It's a great song.
Maybe it's my age because Purple Rain to me was an anthem in the 80s. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, they're both anthems in a way.
yeah, they are. They are.
Lou,
Is it is it Marvin?
it's
and-
the version. Yeah, there's
the
no
version.
alternates here. Yeah.
I think that is the best Motown song of all time. I think it's.
I love
that's
that.
my
I
favorite, my favorite.
love Purple Rain, Mark. Like you said, there's no wrong
Yeah,
answer here. It's your playlist. They're both fucking giant songs, But the beginning of "Ain't No Mountain High Enough,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, ding ding,
All that percussion.
ding ding. And they start, "Ain't nobody high," and it's just a big build up. Where Purple
build-up.
Rain has the same build up to it.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
I have to say, I like a Purple Rain better than a November Rain for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put those two in the same. I
God,
know
no.
some of these I already know the winner,
Ooh.
right? But
do-
these
do
were
you know-
tough.
Do you know who wrote that?
Ain't No Mountain High Enough?
Yep.
No.
Ashford and Simpson.
Wow. Back then?
Yeah.
How far back do they go?
Yeah,
And they must go back further than that. I
yeah,
think.
they do.
But
They
I
go
figure.
back. They were old in the 80s. They were older in the 80s.
Yeah, they were, weren't they? But I
Yeah,
remember,
they were
what was their
older.
70s disco hit?
Yeah.
Ain't no stopping us now. Ain't
Yeah.
no stopping us now.
That was that Ashford? That wasn't Ashford and Simpson. That was
No.
wasn't that the Brothers Johnson? No, they did
I
Stomp.
don't think it was the Brothers Johnson though. I thought it was
no
Ashford.
stopping us now. We're
But
on
they-
the move. I think that maybe that was Ashford. and Simpson.
That's when I first heard them. Yeah, shouldn't
Yeah, that's right.
So they did Solid.
have? Solid as a rock.
Is it still good to you?
Oh,
Yeah,
solid.
they did a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
All right, Mark, you make the call.
Okay.
This is not my favorite two songs of choice, but I'm trying to be very inclusive.
That's good because this beta male
It's
likes
not good.
inclusive.
It's not good. I do it for you, only because you're my friend. See
You're
what I
my-
sacrifice? My values. Oh, here we go.
Oh!
All right, stop. Here we go.
It's music. There's no
Mark,
value to music.
Let's just move on. I'm only kidding. Mark, you make the call. Eye of the Tiger or Living on a Prayer?
Oh,
Both fucking
right.
horrible songs to me. What's the worst of two evils?
because
Oh,
I
man.
can't stand.
I know
Bon
one.
Jovi. I can't stand that they're from New Jersey. I'm just gonna go with Eye of the Tiger. I
Lou?
can't stand Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Eye of the Tiger.
It's so pathetic.
He's a wrecking machine, Rocky.
I hate that song. I hate that it was all hyped me on a movie, and he's got the fucking beret on, like with the French beret, and they're trying to walk. And that video is a fucking mess, by the way.
Yeah.
If you watch Eye of the Tiger, try to figure that fucking. It's a little. Let's just say it's a little not heterosexual. At moments in that, it's very weird. I don't know. It's a little
they
strange.
Are Canadian, not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's like, I don't know. It's a little strange, but I don't like Eye of the Tiger, but I like it better than Living on a Prayer because Bon Jovi can suck ass.
Plus, he's got that vocoder thing on Living Like a Prayer. That thing.
Yeah, wow.
Peter Frampton thing, right?
Yeah.
Was that Richie Zambuca doing that?
Zambuca. All right, Mark, you make.
By the way,
but
the new Bon Jovi has set a record. It's like the poorest selling album from an established artist.
It dropped. It sold well for a day and just disappeared.
And that tells you everything because word of mouth says don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
The reviews are trying to say, hey, it's a band back in something kind
of. Well, don't listen to reviews. That's like going to Rotten Tomato.
No, exactly.
You ever look at Rotten Tomato?
Fuck 'em.
If you see a high critic score, it'll be a low viewer score. And they're never, very rarely are they in the same, ballpark.
Right.
Very rarely.
They put Captain Marvel at number 5 of the best of them.
Always listen to the viewers, and this is their cop out is review bombing. Nobody is that fucking like. Maybe there's 10,000 people that are like that out of the millions that fucking go on that website.
I got something better for you. If you're going to go see a movie and you want to know what it's like, call Tom Spallone. If he says it sucks, it's going to be great. If he says it's really good, you're going to fall asleep. I have not liked a movie that he's liked in 20 years, and movies he hates, I love. So,
all right, Tom's number is 57. No, I can't do that.
EOFUCKYOUR.
Okay, here we go. This is a tough one right here, I think. This is a tough one. Mark, you make the call.
Yeah.
Whiter Shade of Pale or Let's Stay Together?
The classical and me will say Whiter Shade of Pale.
Over Al Green, over the Reverend?
Yeah, I'm going with that. Tough one, but I think I'm confident. Whiter Shade of Pale.
Yeah. No wrong answer. No wrong answer.
And Sammy Hagar and Neil Schon did a great version of it too.
Okay. Lou?
I gotta go with Reverend Al Green. It's also one of my favorite songs.
I
always listen.
I love them both. This was hard for me to put this one together.
What a Shade of Pale. It's a great song.
They're both fantastic songs.
Yeah,
they are. I mean, but they're just. I mean, Let's Stay Together is just. Listen, it was in Pulp Fiction. So.
Yeah. Sublime,
so
sublime percussion track on it. The way it goes.
Yeah.
And I like the recording. It's so dry.
Yeah.
It's a real low, meaty.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
The drums are real dry. I don't hear any reverb that I can tell. At least
have a lot of beat. No pun intended.
Very oomph.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, this is a kind of unique choice right here. Mark, you make the call. Pretty Woman, the Pretty Woman, Roy Orbison's.
Yeah.
Pretty
Not
Woman.
Van Halen. Come on.
Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman or Hit the Road Jack.
Ooh.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
I'm going with Pretty Woman, even though I'm a little tired of it. It's a
come
great
back
one.
no more, no.
I'm going with Roy.
All right, Lou.
This is a hard one. This is the hardest one for me. For sentiment, Pretty Woman. Although that's tough. I love Hit the Road Jack.
Yeah, I know.
What you say?
I'm gonna go with Hit the Road Jack because Van Halen ruined Pretty Woman for me. They really did.
You didn't like the version?
I didn't like it
version.
at all. I didn't like it at all.
I loved it.
Yeah. Dave Phillips, King of the 45, says the Wilbury for the win.
Yeah.
All right. But who fucking asked you, Dave Phillips, King of the 45s?
Well, he puts good music on Facebook, Scott.
Oh, I always
He's got a
check
lot.
it
He's
out.
got a lot.
I always, yeah.
His dog, Tony's.
His dog puts
Picks
the
are
music
impeccable.
on there. Get it right.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Tony.
Yeah. He has great taste. His dog has great taste. All right, let's move on to some movies from 76. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, there were. Yep.
We're almost at an hour and a half, so we might continue these movies because this is a lot of good movies from 76.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to start off with Carrie right off the bat.
Yeah.
Carrie was talk about so one of the best jump scares ever at the end. Right? When, what's her name? What was her name? Amy Irving?
Yeah.
She's having the dream and she goes to the house because the house sunk and she walks over to, it's the ground is there and she's kneeling. It's all this really nice music and it's soft and the fucking arm comes up out of the ground and grabs her.
Yeah.
Fucking jumps but it does it in kind of slow, fast motion, right? The way they filmed it or the way they edited it.
Yep.
It's not like the quick jump. It's
No.
like you see and you jump, you're like, ah. Gives you that double pump, like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it grabs it. But it was just a very unique movie for its time. It was, the whole thing was, what's that?
Was it considered? It was considered in the horror genre, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The horror, yeah.
Yeah. And Piper Laurie was fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
And it was ahead
Hey,
of
Mom.
its time in which they depicted the mother as this ultra crazy religious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were not many movies doing that back then. You know?
No. And they go through the whole thing. She has a menstrual cycle and they kind of, that became like a thing. And so I know for a fact that had to be one of those things that girls back then looked at and went, oh my God.
Yeah.
I never talked to, I never mentioned it to anybody. I was like, I never said, so what did you think of it? But like the girls must have been like, oh, I fucking know what that feels like. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But Carrie was just a great movie. John Travolta was a good bad guy.
Was that his first movie before Welcome Back, Kotter?
I think it was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go counterclockwise. Let's go clockwise, I guess.
Did you
Luke.
guys see the remake
That was
of
the
Carrie?
Seinfeld movie. It's Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
Yeah.
Did you see the remake?
No.
No, I
wouldn't.
won't.
I wouldn't.
Why would I? Why
I
would
won't see
wanna-
I won't see the remake of Carrie either. I refuse.
That's what he said.
That's right,
what
yeah.
he was saying, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Boy in a Plastic Bubble.
Oh, Jesus. Lou, give us a movie from 76.
Great one. Marathon Man.
Is it safe?
Is it safe?
Is it safe?
Is it
Yeah,
not
it's
remarkable?
safe. It's safe. Is it safe? Oh yeah. It's so safe. Is it safe?
Oh,
And then he
man.
switches it up on. He goes, no, it's not
It's
safe.
not safe at all.
Is it
It's not
safe? Like that whole scene.
Yeah.
Roy Scheider was in a lot of movies in the 70s.
That was a good run for him. That was right after Jaws.
He went on a great run.
Yeah.
And he's a good actor. Like he's
Yeah,
that
he was.
character, right? He looks the same in every movie,
Yeah.
right? Just like the Kevin Costner syndrome. He's the same fucking guy in every movie, but he pulls it off. He's one of those rare actors that could pull off that.
Yeah, and a kind
Being
of
the same
kind
kind
of
of
leading,
personality.
the kind of leading man way, but not like John Wayne or anything like that.
Right. Not a big leading man,
But
but
he did varied roles. It was 7-Ups.
the 7-Ups is a good
a
movie.
great movie, yeah.
I might actually watch that again.
Yeah.
Was he in the? Was
he
he
did 2010.
in?
He did the sequel to 2001.
Right.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
Was he in Hot Rocks also? Hot Rock.
I don't know.
Did you see the Hot Rock
Oh god.
with Robert Redford?
Forever ago.
Right. Fucking
remember
great
any.
movie.
Forever.
These are movies you got to go back and watch.
Yeah.
The Hot Rock, 7-Ups,
Thunderbolt,
yeah.
Lightfoot.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, Vanishing Point. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're playing they have a lot of Jack Nicholson movies now on Max. I think I'm like, it almost looks like a tribute.
right.
What they just 5 Easy Pieces, The Last Detail, Chinatown.
Why is he sick or something? Is he?
He's really old, but yeah, he's faded. He's totally faded from view.
Yeah.
You know, he retired from acting, I think, after The Departed.
Right.
But
All right, Lou, give us a movie.
I did. I said.
Oh, you
Marathon
did.
Man.
That's right. Mark.
I am not a runner. Logan's Run.
Oh,
That hit me.
yeah.
All right, so I used to think that my first big science fiction movie was Star Wars, but I remember I was young and 7 years old, and I saw that, and I was taken by the dystopian
Visuals were
society.
cool.
They're in a city, and then like they escape to the outside.
That
and you
was
got
York,
cars.
right? Michael
Michael
York.
York,
Michael
and
York.
the other guy,
Richard Jordan,
Yep.
Richard Jordan, and Farrah
Jenny
Fawcett.
Agutter. I'm
Yeah.
saying it right.
Great,
She just took her top off a lot.
great
Really.
movie. I bought the comic book series, and I have it in a storage facility up in Kingston. I gotta dig them out because they're probably worth something. I read all the comics, and I couldn't get enough of the movie, so I used to like reenact that scene. I'm not a runner, and I'd like act like I was fighting in the living room. I'm not a runner. I'm not a runner. One day I'm doing it, and I turn around, my dad's standing there, and he's like, some of us would like to take our naps because my dad took a nap every Sunday afternoon. I got spanked for that one. But I heard they're going to remake it, and I'm really pissed. Stop.
Oh.
Just stop. Don't remake it because they're going to make
No.
it overly violent. It was violent for its
Of course.
time.
Remember the TV series?
No.
They did a short-lived TV series. Yeah. Not unlike Planet of the Apes, where I didn't go very long.
Yeah.
Right.
It's probably
Right.
too expensive to make.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, all the way from the Philippines, Andy Ordinero. He says, Rocky. Rocky came out in 76. Absolutely
wow.
it did. Yep. It was the number 2 movie of 76, I guess it has here.
The best
Or is
picture.
this when it was released? Let me know. I'm not sure on my list. But, yeah, Rocky. And what can you say about Rocky that hasn't, like the saying is, that hasn't already been said, right?
I always said Rocky and Rambo. The first
why?
ones were good, and then he kind of ruined the series.
I like Rocky 3.
Rocky.
With
I have a
Nick Cage.
soft spot for a lot of Rockies. It's
Yeah.
definitely.
I like the first and the third.
Yeah. Yeah. Third was good.
Kind of like the Planet of the Apes movies. I like the first and third one.
Let me see.
He's a wrecking machine, Rocky.
He's a wrecking machine. This movie came out in 76. Hold on, let me get past this.
YouTube ads.
There we go.
Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth.
That's today,
Banks
by
are
the
going
way.
Bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter.
Is this
That's
falling-
today.
Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to
That's
do. And there's
2020.
No end to it.
Yeah. It
I
is.
think it's Scott would
The air
pick
is
that.
unfit
It
to
is.
breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our
Argue
TVs
with any
while
of
some
this.
local newscaster tells us that today.
Honestly, argue with any point that he's making. This was in 76.
kind of
Argue
been
with
my
any
whole
point
life.
that he's making right now. You
Kind of been
can't.
my whole life.
You can't.
Food's been unhealthy
We
my
had
whole life.
15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say
Technology keeps us in the house.
What?
Only if you-
"Please,
only if you
leave
let
us
it."
alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad.
Yeah.
I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to
Faye
write your
Dunaway with
Congress
a
members. I
smile.
don't know what to tell
She
you to
loves
write.
it.
I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the streets.
Yeah.
All I know is that first, you've got to get...
That's fucking today, man.
I have
There's
never-
no way you can argue with any of this. This is today.
I have never seen that movie, Guillaume. I
Matt,
never saw it.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it.
Yeah.
My
God
life has
damn it.
value.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of...
I can't keep going.
We got a window
I'm
closed.
mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
So I've never seen
Fuck
that
you.
movie.
I won't do what you tell me.
Peter Finch.
You never saw Network?
No.
What the Are you a communist?
No, I just never saw it. Like
You
I'm like
got it.
Lou.
Faye Dunaway.
You know how
Beautiful.
Lou's that hasn't seen a lot of movies. Me too. There's a lot of movies I have not seen.
You got to watch
What I
Network,
have
though.
seen.
You got to watch Network.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I hope I can get
Have
it.
you seen Marathon Man?
It's so long ago. I got to rewatch it. I know more
Have you seen
about
Rocky?
the Cheech I know more about the reenactment by Cheech and Chong. Old man. Or, you know, on that.
It's a really
Sciencey papers, old
No,
man.
no. You got to get to the
Then you
distortion on the
here and
microphone.
go, oh, he put the cigarette in his eye, man.
I mean,
Oh, man. Yeah,
no, I
Network.
have seen Rocky.
Faye Dunaway at her best,
Yeah.
partially at her best, The eyes of Laura Mars, she was really good in that one.
Yeah.
Faye
Bonnie-
Dunaway, one
Bonnie
of the greatest beauties in the history of Hollywood.
She's still
Absolute
alive.
in my
She's still-
book.
And married to Peter Wolf.
In the top 10 beauties
Right.
of all time in Hollywood. I
Yes.
did a video. I created a video I thought were the top 10 prettiest women in Hollywood. I'll send it to you guys. And I don't, you can't argue with it. You could probably substitute some people, but
Was
and
Phyllis
people
Diller
did when
on
I
that list?
posted it. People like, what about her and her? And again, it's my list. Anybody can create the list, but Faye Dunaway was definitely on that.
I never thought Joan Crawford was that hot.
No, I didn't either.
I thought she looked like
You
a
know
man
who I
in
think
drag.
the
She looked like a
prettiest-
drag queen.
To this day,
That's
to
good.
this day, I say, and when I was a kid, I had a fucking crush on her, and I said she was the most beautiful woman ever in Hollywood. Lauren Bacall, in my
When
book,
she was young, yeah, absolutely.
was
She
a fucking hammer.
yeah.
Holy shit, those eyes and that voice, and I mean, she had the body. Lauren Bacall to me was the prettiest woman in her prime
Bogey knew what he was
in
doing.
the history of Hollywood. Absolutely, he did. I wouldn't get to change places with that short motherfucker. Back in '47.
Ever see pictures of young Shelley Winters?
You know what? Yeah, she was
Wasn't
cute.
bad. She was
cute.
Wasn't bad.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
I,
some old
I
movies
just
on
think of the
TMZ.
Poseidon Adventure.
Then you can't really. Yeah, that
You
ruins
can't
everything.
unsee the underwater
Because
scene.
she died earlier in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why couldn't she have landed in the Christmas tree like the other poor son of a bitch? You know?
All right, Mark, give us a movie from '76.
I don't know how you guys viewed this movie, but for me, it was another one that I was a little kid. I saw it in the theater, scared the fuck out of me. I don't know why, but King Kong, the image of King Kong in that really scared the shit out of me. But it hit me hard, and I love Jessica Lange in it. And,
Yeah,
It
it
was a good
a
remake.
good movie. It was,
And
it was a
Jeff
decent
Bridges?
remake. It
Yeah.
was a decent
Yeah.
remake. Yeah.
I think that the new version that they did is probably they really nailed it, but that was good, and it will always stand up for itself as a good remake.
Yeah. Yeah. Lou?
He calls you a little piece of chicken?
What movie was that?
Taxi driver.
Taxi Driver.
Oh.
That's right. That's right.
He
Yeah.
calls you a little piece of chicken? Now that's a movie I'm revisiting soon because that's one of the streaming channels is playing it again. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay.
That movie was heavy.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch Hillbilly Elegy?
I think I've seen it.
It's a good movie.
I didn't think the movie-
Don't put the political thing into
No,
it. You
I
have to
saw
watch
it.
the
I saw it a
movie.
while ago. I didn't think it was a great movie though.
It's a
Nothing-
good movie. It's not. Yeah,
it's
it's not a
personal critique.
dynamic movie by any means, but it's a story. It's like one of those movies you just got to want to watch a story.
Scott,
you're gonna see a
I-
story
I live there. Okay, I don't need to see
in
something.
Appalachia.
Oh, technically, I'm in Appalachia. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Um,
but you're in modern day Appalachia.
Well, here's the deal. Like Asheville, there's Asheville. Greenville's an hour away, South Carolina. But if you go further out, I've gone further out, and you're like,
Yeah, we had a egg
Ooh,
and
no.
mayonnaise sandwich with you, Lou, on white bread.
well, that's civilized for the rural part. I mean, if you go for, I've gone down a couple roads. A guy I worked with, his last name, there's a street up there where I used to live named after him. He goes, that's named after my whole family. So I drove to the end of one time. I'm like, I can't back out of this whole gravel street road. I have to turn around somehow without going in someone's semblance of a driveway. But people came out of houses looking at me. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
just visit. I got North Carolina plates. I'm just visiting.
Well, I'll tell you what. So Scott,
And when someone says get your ass up in them woods, you don't have to do it.
you're not Ned Beatty. Don't worry about it.
I'm not.
Um,
I'm no Ned Beatty, sir.
When me and Perry went down to see Lou the first time, Lou took us out to he said, you want to get breakfast? And we went to this place where, we walk up. I got my long hair. Perry just oozes Jersey. You know, we all ooze Jersey, and everybody
No, I know.
stared at us. But then I said hi to somebody. Everybody was cool after that. But I just remember that the egg sandwich, the only choice was white bread with mayonnaise. I ate it. It was good. I
Damn
actually
right you
liked it. It was okay. you
Anything
know?
with mayo is good to me, but
Yeah,
you
you know,
French-
except
yeah.
a Italian sub, but that's just me.
French
So,
fries or hamburgers.
2008,
Yeah, man.
2008, I'm in Front Royal, Virginia, and I'm going through the Canine Academy, U.S. Customs, right? Canine Enforcement Center. And two of my buddies, a bunch of us came up from Miami, and two of my buddies, his last name is Rios, and he's from Chicago, but he's Mexican name, Mexican descent. And the other kid, the other guy's name is Alvarez. He's a Cuban from Miami, right? So my buddy Alvarez wants to go look for a car, and he really wants the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, right? And he finds one in the Bargain Hunter somewhere, whatever. And so this is 2008, so technology wasn't really.
You had to call the guy, no instant messaging.
Exactly. So the guy says, and so now they start driving into the hills of Virginia, right? Front Royal is small town Virginia, but when you start going a little deeper in, they were almost near West Virginia, I think, right? So the guy says, when you get to the bottom of the road, call me from the store. And they're like, okay. And they got the Garmin. I think back then there was Garmin was the big,
Yeah.
it was Waze and it was Google Maps back
But
then.
it did
right?
it work in rural areas?
It did up until they get to that gas station, and he calls the guy, and the guy says, "See the road right behind the building? Go up that road and just keep going up, and I'm up there." So they're like, "Okay," and they're kind of getting like, "Okay, this is a little weird," because the Garmin goes blank,
Yeah.
right? It goes blank on them, but they're following the road and they're seeing these fucking shacks on each side of them, and sparsely though. And they get up to this clearing, and there's this house, and there's two dudes on the porch, and so they both get out, and they walk up, and the two yahoos get off the porch, and they walk down, and like, "Are you here about the car?" And my buddies are like, "Yeah," and he says, "Okay, let me show it to you." And my Cuban friend notices that a couple more guys come out of the house. And he's like, "This is a little weird, right?" And, but okay, we're cool. Everything's cool. And he shows them the car. And the guy says to my friend Rios, who's kind of a bigger dude, he goes, are you the one buying this? Because if you are, I hope you ain't selling it to some Mexican.
Yeah.
And at that point, my buddy Alvarez goes, because he looks Latin. Rios looks like a white dude, right? My buddy Alvarez goes, "Buddy, I'm just going to go wait in the car." And he goes and sits in the car.
Shit.
And this guy starts talking about, these Mexicans come up here, and because Virginia does have an influx of South Americans that have migrated up there for work, right?
Yeah.
And it became a thing. And these dudes were like, this was like Fort Apache, the Bronx to them. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't fucking invading this piece of the land, right? And so it got my buddy's like, it got a little fucking weird, right? And he's like, "All right." He goes, "So you going to buy this thing or what?" He goes, "Well, you know what? Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, I'm just going to go talk to my friend, and we'll see. And he goes, "Yeah, okay." And they all stand around, and my buddy Rios gets in the car. He's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here. Just fucking go. Just go."
How fast can they get down that road?
They fucking bang a Yui, and they just take off down that hill. And I think they were laughing. Them white boys were not fucking around because they know you're there. This is deliverance, man.
Yeah. And
This is fucking deliverance.
they
You're
didn't-
off the map.
They didn't even see the car.
He did see the car and he liked it, but he's like, I'm not
too
fucking
bad.
doing business
Too
with
bad.
them. That was like I went and bought this it's a record holder, and it's a vintage record holder, and it has I looked it up. I forget the name brand, but it's got this the front pulls down, and that's where all your records go. Then you kind of fold it up. And this was over it's in a kind of shady area here in up around where I live. So it's a Sunday afternoon. It's in the summer. And I said, all right, I'm going to drive over there. And I had my Jeep and I drive over there. And I just notice I'm in the fucking hood, right? All right. I'm cool, though. I'm cool. White guy driving around in the hood in a brand new fucking Jeep Wrangler, custom, Dragon edition, right? It's got the big dragon thing on the side. And so I see the house and I'm like, and I look across the street and there's like 6 brothers there and they're just chilling, just hanging out on the porch, you know, and then you see they're drinking. It's Saturday or Sunday afternoon, whatever. And so this black guy comes out of the house. He's an older guy. And he's like, yeah, and he's got a fence around the yard and there's a dog in there and the dog doesn't like white people, evidently, right? So he says, yeah, it's in the house. Come in the house. I'm like, oh, here we go. Right. So I go in the house and I kind of realized at that point when I got out of the Jeep and I looked across the street that I'm wearing a Larry Bird jersey.
Fuck.
Now, if there was ever the consummate white boy jersey, even in Do the Right Thing, John Savage is wearing a Larry Bird jersey. Right?
Go back to Brooklyn. No, go back to Boston.
Go
Go back to Boston.
Right? Fucking racist, right? And I got the Bird jersey on, right? I'm like, here we go. The shaved head, right? Sunglasses, right? Black sun. So I go in the house, and the dude's like, yeah, here it is right here. It's like $25, but I looked it up, and the thing's expensive, right? So I said, all right, yeah, it looks good. And he says, yeah, at $20, I'd take cash. And I said, well, he said, where are you from? I said, well, I'm from Boston. Oh, what part? I said, well, I was originally from Roxbury, and then we moved. He goes, oh, I know that area. I know. And he starts trying to talk. He's talking to me about that. And then he says, yeah, $20. And so I take out some cash, and I go to give it to him, and he goes, in the Bird jersey stays here.
Oh.
Wow.
And he just stands there and looks at me. And I look at him. I go, that ain't fucking happening.
No, man.
But I'm thinking in my head, this is a bad situation right now.
Right.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm in his house, right?
Yeah.
And all he has to do is yell out the door, and I am fucked.
Yeah.
Right? And I looked at him, and like I said, I go, that ain't fucking happening. And we have this standoff for literally like 20 seconds. We just look at each other. And then he goes, I'm only fucking with you. He wasn't, though. But he wasn't.
Yeah, he was testing.
That's
He
how
thought
you-
he was going to scare the white boy. Like, he
That's
thought,
how-
I'm going
Yeah.
to.
You can walk out with
That's
no shirt.
That's
Yeah.
how you extricate yourself from that. You're like, oh, I can't scare him, so now I got to get out of it.
Well, that's what he was like. But I was thinking in my head, this is a bad fucking scene right here. This
You don't know the
could
guy.
really turn left real fast. And I just stared him down. I was like, I've been in worse situations, right? And he just, I'm only kidding. Come on, man. I say, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, you weren't kidding. If I took that jersey off, he'd be like, now you can go. Now he got me.
Yeah.
Right?
He
Oh,
sneaked,
no.
right.
Yeah.
Do
So
you think he would have worn the shirt if you had left it?
Oh, of course he would have, because then I took it off that white boy that came over.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I kept
like
his
a trophy.
$20. And I kept his $20. And I got this Mitchell and Ness fucking, $170 Larry Bird jersey. Like what the vintage? Like, I'm like, oh. So needless to say, it doesn't matter if you go there in the daytime or the nighttime. Those are always shady. Those
So,
situations are always
Scott,
shady, man.
You did mention, and I'm not going to tell a story because I have too many to tell, but you mentioned Fort Apache.
Fort Apache,
So
the Bronx, yeah.
I started going down to that neighborhood in that area to see my wife when we were going out. And back then I was wearing leather pants. I was a heavy metal guy. I had my Buick Skylark, yellow Buick Skylark.
My brother had a yellow Buick Skylark. Yeah.
And no, a lot of things happened, but I never had anything happen to me. But it was, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was in his house, in his territory.
Well, the cops would, every so often they would do the walking patrol, and a cop would come up to me and look at me and say, "What are you doing here?" And I'd say, "I'm coming to pick up my girlfriend." And when he looked at me, I guess he saw my eyes and said, "All right," like, because why would a white guy be down there? You buying drugs? Or
Buying
something,
drugs,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, and then be like, I told it with all honesty, and then one time I had a zebra thing in the car, and he goes, I'm a Long Island zebra. They're great, you know. So it's like, it's like I could tell stories, but not on the show.
There you go. Perry Denovich, the AI, about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, he commented, Perry oozes America. Mark, not just New Jersey.
He oozes a few things apparently.
You know, we're gonna pick up movies again next week. Why not? Right?
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot. There's
a lot of good movies here. Lou, let's do one more round of movies because I gotta.
Okay.
Lou.
The Omen.
Yeah.
Scary.
I did this for you, Damien.
That was messed up. That was shocking. Was that? Yeah, I was 15.
Absolutely, it was
14 or 15. Oh, I don't think I ever saw anything like that before.
Yeah.
I think after Night of the Living Dead, for me, this was the second scariest movie I think I'd seen.
When you grow up in a very strict religious household where you have a literal translation of the Bible, this movie was like, to me, cool because it scared the shit out of me. If you read the book, the very first line says God is dead, and I thought to myself, how could God be dead? You know, and it's just like, it's where the priest gets the spear through him or whatever. I was like, that was like.
I have a friend that we grew up with. His name is Timmy King. His father was the governor of Massachusetts for a term. Fucking looks just like Damien.
Oh shit!
Fucking look just like him, man. Look just fucking like him. He was a fucking crazy motherfucker.
A cute little kid.
Yeah.
The scene where he turns around and looks at everybody.
I'm gonna go with. Are you gonna pull those pistols or whistle Dixie?
That was Josie Wells.
Yeah. The poor dog. How many times that dog gets spit on? Well, close to it, close enough, right? Yeah. Today is a good day to die. That was that movie, right?
Great movie. Yeah, I think
with
it
the
was.
Indian, the old Indian.
Yeah.
It's a good day to die. Yeah, and then he's never dies. So the guy he's like, you're not dying, right?
Yeah, he hit it right when he did those movies in the 70s because he got away from the spaghetti westerns and he did westerns the way he thought they should be done, and they were great. You know, like those were Clint Eastwood.
Has Clint Eastwood ever done a bad movie?
I would say this: he's one of these actors. If the movie's not good, he is great in it. I wasn't a fan of the one where he's a Confederate soldier and he's dying.
The Beguiled.
Right? It wasn't, but he was great in it. When you see
they
him,
cut his leg off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one, Play Misty for me. It's kind of esoteric, but he's great in it.
That's kind of different for him too.
Yeah.
Well, I think he wanted to do that because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself, and he was getting pigeonholed.
Yeah.
That's why he did
Man
those
with No Name.
comedies too. Right Turn, Clyde.
Awesome movies.
Hey, go to fucking Italy, make some fucking westerns.
So Outlaw Josie Wales, great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Well, that and Pale Rider are just like companion pieces.
So no, Pale
like
Rider
a double A side. That was the 80s, though, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Outlaw Josie Wales. Pale Rider was the sequel to High Plains Drifter.
Right.
Okay. Right.
He just came out of nowhere. There's a link, like he's supposed to maybe be the same character. Yeah.
Right. Only he's a preacher.
But yeah, and this is a little later on. And High Plains Drifter, another fucking epic. But The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is the greatest Western ever made.
Just bought it on 4K.
Greatest Western
Transfer
ever
to 4K
made.
is amazing.
It's better than The Bridges of Madison County.
All right,
I
Mark,
even like
give us
that
a
movie. All right, I'll stick with Clint and I'll go with The Enforcer because you can't go wrong with any Dirty Harry movie.
Nope. Yep. You cannot. I have this little thing that I stumbled on this.
It's a sore on my sorry.
No. And it's this, I found this site and it has song meanings, right?
Yeah.
So what meaning do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the meaning of the song Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye, Long Train Running by the Doobie Brothers, or let me see, or Lucky Man by Emerson, Lake and Palmer? What song meaning do you want to?
I would say Long Train Running only because I know about the other two. I mean,
okay, so
what do you
Long
say?
Train Running,
Okay.
right? The story behind the song is rock and roll fans heatedly debate which incarnation of the Doobie Brothers was the better of the two. The earlier, and we've talked about this, Tom Johnston, Doobies of Long Train Running fame, or the Minute by Minute Michael McDonald led band. In fact, both deserve recognition for their contributions to popular music. The original quartet was built around the guitarist, lead singer Johnston, drummer John Hartman, who played together in Pud. An initial album released in the spring. I know, 71 flopped. A second the following year landed them on the charts. The Captain and Me broke the Doobie Brothers nationally with its blazing lead-off single, Long Train Running. Like music, Long Train Running was written by Johnston and bore the trademark sound of guitar, bass, rock and roll with a driving beat. So I don't know what this means then. It doesn't give us the meaning of the song. It tells us how it was fucking, let me see, lyrics. And so.
Yeah, I mean, Lucky Man was written by Lake when he was like 14. It's about a man that was, whatever, he became a king. And let's get it on, let's have sex, right?
Is that what that means?
Yeah. Says the man in the suit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look some of these over. But let's get on to the top 10 songs this week in 1976. Number 10 this week in 1976. Rock and Roll Music by the Beach Boys.
15 big. That was the 15 Big Ones album.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that also was that when they were on SNL too, and they made Brian Wilson surf. They took him in his bathrobe and they made him walk into the ocean.
Number 9 this week in 1976. Silly Love Songs. Wings. Still holds up. Still holds up today. Number 8 this week in 1976. Got to Get You Into My Life.
Are you doing the Earth, Wind, and Fire version?
This is the Beatles version.
That was more like the Sgt. Pepper movie version you were doing.
Yeah. Oh,
that was a good cover, actually.
Yeah.
I don't like the song enough that I didn't even like the cover.
Number 7 this week in 1976. My mother told me, you better shop around.
Captain Tennille.
You better shop around.
Well, that's a cover, right? Yeah, Smokey Robinson.
Yep. Good
and the
one.
Miracles.
That's right.
Captain and Steel covered that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so pure.
It's good. It's actually, they did a good job with it.
Okay.
They did a good job with it. Now, hey, listen, it hit the top 10.
Yeah, it does. They did a good version.
They did a good. They were all good. Whatever they sang was good. It was just camp. It was 70s camp.
It was pop. It was
but she had a great voice, and they had great melodies, and they had pop music. They were good pop artists.
And he was a bottomless well of hat jokes. If you saw the TV series,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? Remember his hat jokes?
Yep. Number 6 this week in
I
1970.
always woke up with a hat on.
Here we go. Number 6 this week in 1976. One of the best opening riffs in music. Gary
Wright.
Well, I think it's time to get ready.
Oh, it's funny. I just recently mentioned on the other show that I just discovered that whole album. I ordered the CD. Somebody at work said, get the whole CD. It's a great album.
It's called the Music Relish Show, Mark.
The other show, yeah.
Oh, you got me, Lou.
All right, Mark, you ever listen to Third Base, Mark? You ever listen to Third Base?
He's never gotten to third base.
Oh, because you look for those executives on LinkedIn. Boom, boom. Mark,
Not me. That's Lou.
I know. Mark, have you ever
Rough
listened
life.
to Third Base?
The
rappers, yeah.
Yeah.
White rappers, MC Surge. And,
Yeah.
they use that whole riff in one of their songs. I forget the name of it. It's on the Cactus album. Check it out.
Okay. I think
they do a great job with this, like using that riff as a sample.
Okay.
So, number 5 this week. Let me see. That was number 5. No, this is number 5. Oh, I love this song too. Number 5 this week in 1976. Moonlight Feels Right by Starbuck.
My favorite yacht rock song.
It's one of those songs, right? One of those songs. It's a feel-good song. Number 4 this week in 1976. Sang, maybe written by, I'm not sure, a former porn star, Andrea True. More. Which is that song is about filming a porn video. Listen to the lyrics.
Me and my dad saw all her work. Brilliant. She could
Andrea
actually.
Chu,
She
she's
could
a
actually
good-looking
act.
70s chick.
She could really act too.
Lou,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
Did your dad take you to the Queen Anne Theater?
Oh, come on, Mark. Come on. Every.
That was the only
Friday night.
porno theater we had in Bergen County. The
I
Queen Anne
know.
Theater.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had family passes.
Yeah, we had the Pussycat theaters in Boston. The
Ooh,
Pussycat.
I like that.
Yeah, the Pussycat.
And the old Times Square. I was never at the old Times Square, but
And we had the
apparently it was a
Combat
pretty
Zone.
speedy place.
But we had one over by the Boston Garden, right over by down across the street, down a little from the Boston Garden, the old Boston Garden, was a porno theater. Yeah. Number 3 this week in 1976, I'll Be Good to You, the Brothers Johnson.
Cool.
Good song.
All right, motherfuckers, this is why I should have fucking won, but I gave it because you guys contested, you thought about it, you hemmed and hawed. Number 2 this week in 1976, Kiss and Say Goodbye by the motherfucking Manhattans. I fucking told you that was a big hit. No, I don't know.
Well, what is the chart placement of the other song in contention?
I don't know, but this one was number 2, soon to be number 1. Because it knocked the number 1 song this week in 1976.
Wait.
Damn right.
This has got to be the saddest day of my life.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I called you here today.
Yeah.
A little bit of bad
That's
news.
what I'm talking about. Little sucky. Yeah. And number 1, Afternoon Delight. So let's get rid of that. We're at 2 hours. This day in music. Let's see. I don't care about Ed Sheeran. I don't care about R. Kelly. He deserves to be in prison.
Yep.
I don't care about Pink. 2008 Rolling Stones. All right. Rolling Stone guitarist Ronnie Wood was seeking help with his battle with alcohol in a rehab center.
'Cause
The
he
move
wanted to
followed a
keep his job.
tabloid speculation over the state of his 23-year marriage to former model Joe Wood. Following Ronnie's continued battle with the alcohol, he has entered a period of rehab. This day in 2007, Paul Simon filed a lawsuit against Rhythm USA Inc., claiming the company never had his permission to sell wall clocks that played Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh, brother.
That motherfucker's made $1 million off those things. The suit claimed that as one of the best-known songs throughout the world, a proper licensing agreement would earn at least $1 million licensing fee. I don't know. They should have the outcomes. They never give you the outcomes.
I think the singing fish wall clocks are more, popular.
On this day in 2007, the arrogant asshole Sting and his wife, Trudy Styler, were ordered to pay their former chef compensation after losing a sexual discrimination case. Jane Martin, 41, was awarded $24,000, about 25,000 pounds, which is about $33,000, at an employment tribunal in Southampton, England, after she was sacked by Miss Styler from the couple's estate in Wiltshire because she was pregnant. See? Assholes. Fucking assholes. Let's see. On this day in 2002, the Rolling Stones crew chief, 50-year-old Royden McGee, who had worked with the band for 30 years, died during a rehearsal in Toronto. Spokesman for the band said McGee had said that he wasn't feeling well and went to another room to take a nap. Stones had just finished dinner and resumed rehearsing when they got the word McGee had collapsed and stopped breathing. Let's see. On this day in 2001, Kiss added another product to their ever-growing merchandising universe, the Kiss casket. Yep. The coffin featured the faces of the 4 founding members of the band, the Kiss logo, and the words Kiss Forever. Pantera's guitarist Dimebag Darrell was buried in one after he was shot and killed on stage in 2000.
And
pretty
Eddie
cool.
Van Halen put his Frankenstein guitar in the coffin.
As he should. Dimebag
I
Darrell
don't know
never,
about that. I don't know.
No, hey, listen, that's
Eddie's a good
paying
guy.
respect. That's
Eddie was
paying
a good guy. Yeah,
absolute
he was,
respect
yeah.
to Eddie Van Halen. That was respect.
Because he knew
To think-
Dimebag. He knew Dimebag was the generation that was influenced directly by him.
Yeah, and to think that Dimebag, he didn't know. It always amazes me that these guys They don't have any formal training, no nothing. They pick up a guitar and they learn to play like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
don't think I have that ability, but evidently I don't.
I think you do. You just don't know it. I
Yeah.
feel like
You
Possibly.
gotta try it.
Possibly. I'm doing
Right.
too many other things now to pick up an instrument.
I'm
That's
looking
the last
behind
thing
you.
I need to do.
Look, I'm looking behind you. I see all that shit you buy, and it's great shit. Why don't you buy yourself a good guitar? Good electric guitar.
Because I won't dedicate myself to it.
I'll come
I
down and
know
give
I
you
won't.
lessons if you pay
Yeah.
my airfare.
Well, I got three extra bedrooms, so you and Luke can come down anytime. Let's see.
Can I bring my drums?
Bring your drums, buddy. Bring your drums. We'll set
Your-
them up in here. My wife
your
won't
wife-
hear a
Because you
thing.
got a studio.
Your
man.
wife will never
Yeah.
forgive you.
On this day in 1998, the Beastie Boys went to #1 in the UK album charts with Hello Nasty. On this day in 1992, Bobby Brown married Whitney Houston. On this day in 1991, the first night of the Lollapalooza tour at the Compton Terrace, Phoenix, featuring Living Colour, Susie and the Banshees, Jane's Addiction, 9 Inch Nails, Henry Rollins Band, and the Butthole Surfers.
What a great lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah. On this day in 1988, Ike Turner was sentenced in Santa Monica, California, to 1 year in jail for possessing and transporting cocaine.
What did he get for beating his
Easy.
wife?
On this day in 1988, Nico died after suffering a minor heart attack while riding a bicycle on holiday with her son in Ibiza, Spain. The German-born singer, songwriter, and keyboardist, player with the most overrated fucking band ever, the Velvet Underground.
Yeah. Yep.
It also
Wonderful.
worked as a fashion model and actress.
Is it a mild heart attack?
I guess, but evidently that's not a mild heart attack.
Yeah,
You
no,
fucking
really.
die from it.
Unless you
fuck?
laid on the street for like 10 hours. I don't know.
Yeah,
On
right.
this day in 1980, Billy Joel held the top position in both U.S. albums and single charts. His album Glass Houses contained his first and biggest #1 hit. It's still rock and roll to me.
Nah, didn't like it.
On this day in 1978, Def Leppard made their live debut at Westfield School in Sheffield, England, in
Nice.
front of 150
78.
students.
They were probably children back then.
There's a rumor that back in the day when we used to have dances in junior high in the 70s, early 70s and all that, that Aerosmith was one of those bands.
Could have been.
I don't know.
Remember the Mighty Lemon?
I was
the
too
Lemon
busy
Pipers?
drinking fucking Mad Dog 2020.
There you go.
So there was
which flavor was it? The Orange Jubilee.
It's the grape, always the grape.
Grape,
That's
okay.
why I don't drink grape anything today.
I don't drink.
It's
I
a-
don't drink
it's a trigger.
peppermint. I don't touch peppermint anything because
Schnapps.
Oh.
I mean, that's another story for another time. That's all I'm going to say about that. On this day in 1974, the U.S. Justice Department ordered John Lennon out of the country. We all know that story. On this day in 1973, Bruce Springsteen played the first of 4 nights at Max's Kansas City in New York, supported by Bob Marley and the Wailers. We're on the first ever North American tour. On this day in 1972, Sly and the Family Stone, right? Members of the Sly and the Family Stone were arrested after police found 2 pounds of marijuana. Now that's going big.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
In 72, that's going big.
Yeah.
Found it in the group's motorhome. Yay. On this day in 1970, Pink Floyd's Roy Harper, Kevin Ayers, and the Edgar Burden Band all appeared as I don't care. On this day in 1970, I don't care. On this day in 69, the Beatles. During a session in Abbey Road, Ringo recorded his vocals for Octopus's Garden.
Who won the Eurovision Song Contest?
That's when we do a year. We have a
That's yours,
we didn't-
Los and Rob's
Oh
already.
man! Oh, I just want to know.
Yeah. Well, we'll do. I mean, maybe we'll do 69 next week. Maybe we'll finish up the movie.
We're gonna
and
do
stuff.
69.
Oh,
I'm
don't
out.
look at me
I'm
when
out.
you say that. Yeah. Let's see. On this day in 1966, Bobby Fuller, leader of the Bobby Fuller Four, was found dead in his car in Los Angeles. He died mysteriously from gasoline asphyxiation while
not
parked
set on fire.
outside his apartment. Police labeled it a suicide, but possibility of foul play has always been mentioned.
The bass player always suspected it might have been the Manson family. Early on, hired by the manager.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Worth more dead than alive.
yep. On this day in 1964, the Rolling Stones appeared in the U.S. charts for the first time with the cover of Buddy Holly's "Not Fade Away." They peaked at number 48. On this day in 64, the Four Seasons started a 2-week run at number 1 with Ragdoll. On this day in 1960, Brenda Lee went to number 1 in the U.S. single charts with "I'm Sorry." On this day in 1953, truck driver Elvis Presley made his first ever recording when he was paid $3.98 at the Memphis recording service, singing two songs, My Happiness and That's When Your Heartaches Begin. The so-called vanity disc was a gift for his mother. It would surface 37 years later as part of an RCA compilation called Elvis, the Great Performances. Born on this day, July 18th. Let's see, we don't care about that guy. Jack Irons, drummer. Worked with Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Joe Strummer. Let me see, born on this day in 1955, Terry Chambers, drummer with the English group XTC.
Mutton chops.
Born on this day in 1954, Ricky Skaggs, country singer. Born on this day in 1950, Glenn Hughes. Do you know who Glenn Hughes is?
Oh, yeah. Deep Purple.
Nope. As far away from Deep Purple as you can get.
There's two Glenn Hughes.
There's two Glenn Hughes.
Yeah. This guy was, he was with the Village People.
Oh. Well,
Was he the,
could have been.
was he the motorcycle guy?
They don't say. Let me see the group's
You
name.
know what, Lou? That
refers to
could have been
names.
Glenn Hughes because he was kind of like that. with
Okay,
Deep Purple.
guys, who was your favorite Village person?
Oh, I always thought the construction dude was the coolest. He was. I always thought there was something wrong with the leather guy, though. I was like, what is that?
Yeah,
I like
who's
the Native
killed you?
American.
They pulled off
He's a
one of
bear.
the best bait and switches in the history of music
Why bait and switch?
because nobody knew they were gay. When the first album
Are
came
you
out,
sure? Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive. When the first album
You
came
knew the
out,
leather daddy was. Come on.
I'm telling you, when the first album came out, listen to the song San Francisco. It's a fucking good song. It really is a good song. Like they had really good, it was good pop music. It was real dancey, but it was heavy.
I can attest to that because, Lou, I grew up in a religious household. So when they came out, they were like kind of this new thing, and they were on a lot of the talk shows, and my parents would watch it. Then it was discovered, ooh,
And they don't watch
and
them
my
anymore.
church said, do not listen to them. And my, father, he
Big bait
never
and
really
switch.
went with the church. He kind of
Yeah.
did his own thing. But, what I used to say to my dad was, but wasn't the music good? Some of their music was really good,
But you listen to the lyrics, and then you get it.
Yeah,
You listen to the lyrics, then you get it, right? But San Francisco, listen to them by the Village People. Really good song.
Do you remember the SNL parody?
Oh, I don't
I
know.
remember the Wayne's World parody.
SNL did a parody. It's hysterical. The song's called "Bend Over, Chuck Berry." But they cast it really down.
Born in the state of 1941.
Did you know that in the World Trade Center when it went down, the falling man is the brother of, I think it's the cowboy. He's one of the brother of one of the Village People.
I saw the cowboy at the. He was at a Comic-Con, and he had a table. The fucking guy looks the same. Looks the same.
Well, didn't one of them was allegedly the Grease Man? What was that? The guy that had a radio show. I'm the Grease Man.
The Grease
I remember the
Man.
Grease
Right?
Man. Yeah.
Rumor has it he was a Village person.
The Village People, originally there was like 8 of them or 9 of them, and they got it down to like whatever. There was 6 of them, I think. But originally there was like 8 or 9 of them.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Born on this day in 1941, Martha Reeves. Born on this day in 1941, Lonnie Mack. Blues country
great
guitarist.
guitarist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great guitarist.
And let's see. Born on this day in 1939, Dion DiMucci. Not to be confused with the great wrestler Dominic DiNucci. Bruno Sammartino's fucking Italian tag team partner. Let's see. Born on this day in 1938, Ian Stewart. You know who Ian Stewart was?
Yeah.
No, piano player. He was a Rolling Stone.
Yep.
He was just
Rolling
too
Stones.
ugly. He was too ugly to be one.
Yeah. Let's see. Stewart died of a heart attack in his doctor's Harley Street waiting room. Jesus Christ.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's like that guy that got hit with the. Who was the guy that hit with the bale of hay you were talking about one time?
That was
Poor son of a bitch, man.
Born on
rolled
this
down the
day
hill.
in 1929, Screaming Jay Hawkins.
He's a crazy man. He was great.
Yep.
Have you ever seen his videos?
I have.
I put a spell on him. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And finally, born on this day in 1913, Deke Watson from the Ink Spots. In 1939, they recorded the version of If I Didn't Care, which became the 10th best-selling single of all time with over 19 million copies sold, making it one of the fewer than 40 all-time singles to have sold 10 million or more physical copies worldwide. Deke Watson died on November 4th, 1969. And gentlemen, that is that.
Scott, I got to tell you something. I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning.
my
You
God.
kept me awake with your you did great. I have not slept since 4 a.m.
God, dude. Go to
The
bed.
life of an insomniac, but
Well,
you did it good. You kept me
let's-
going. Thank you.
I'll make this fast for you. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you like it, share it. If you didn't like it, well, thanks for watching for 2 hours and 14 minutes. As I always say, you are the engine that runs the machine. Without you, it would just be me talking to these two guys. And by the way, gentlemen, as I always say, thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge. But most of all, I really thank you for your friendship. You're a huge asset to this podcast. And that's
Thank you
that.
for your phone calls. I hope you didn't call Lou this week. No, I did.
Lou doesn't take my calls.
I haven't spoken to
Not
anybody.
until the election's over.
I mean,
Anyway,
No,
I'm only kidding.
I know you
I'm
are. I was trying to look presidential tonight.
Well, you look very presidential.
Well, Mr. Stipe, you look very good.
That's the
The
sign
MTV
you look
Music
like you're
Award.
ready for a comeback. And as I always say, doing this show for you, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you, Patty. She loved the show. Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm trying to find the.
Harriet of Age 72 Skylark.
Let's
Yeah.
get Mark